Good morning, everybody. It is Star Wars Day, May 4th, and this is Prime Nation Live. I'm Sydney Roberts.
I'm Tyler Wood.
I'm Drew Scheid.
I'm Gerard Fortune.
I'm Tanner Methvin.
Perfect. This is the crew for today. So let's get around to On This Day. Like I said, it's May 4th. And we'll go chronologically. Tyler suggested this on Monday, and we haven't followed through again until today. So we're gonna be talking about the most mundane of each On This Day, as well as the ones we find exciting. So Tanner, I'll let you take this one. You did the research.
Yes, I did some research. So apparently there was this dude Herschel, right? So you got this dude Herschel, and
that's the only name we're given.
Yeah,
It
so
doesn't even deserve a last
I couldn't
name.
find a picture, so I used Herschel from The Walking Dead. And in 1783, Herschel reports seeing a red glow near lunar crater Aristarchus. And I did some research and found Jack. Like, apparently he just saw this red glow. They're like, there's nothing there, you idiot. He's like, I think there's something there. No, there isn't. And apparently this claim by him, because he was an expert at the time, this claim that was proven wrong would be used against science for years to come.
So he was an expert?
I guess so. He had made some
astronomy?
discoveries before or whatever, that he was a trusted source. And now, thanks to him, science is still questioned.
Yeah, it was one of the first recorded instances of fake news.
Piece of garbage human being.
So wait a second. Does it say if he is? Oh yeah. So this is definitely. Wait. Okay. Yeah. So this is the guy. His name is Sir William Herschel. So it wasn't his first name.
Oh, excuse me.
Original name was Friedrich Wilhelm Herschel. He was German-born British astronomer.
Do you mean Frederick?
Frederick?
I don't know. Is that the?
Oh, does no one know that reference?
No.
Frederick Frankenstein?
No.
Young Frankenstein. No one's seen Young
I've
Frankenstein?
seen it. I
No.
didn't catch that reference.
Years ago.
Oh, Sydney, you might want to turn
Young
the mix down a little bit.
Frankenstein.
Years ago. Yeah, I haven't really watched any Mel Brooks movies in forever.
Well, that's a shame.
I think the last one I watched was Blazing Saddles, which was really good.
I don't think I've ever seen Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles is amazing.
It's on Netflix. I still haven't seen it.
Oh, really?
yet. Yeah.
Robin Hood Men in Tights is decent.
Yeah.
Oh, that was his?
Young Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I like that movie.
Dave
Mhm.
Chappelle.
Yeah.
Not even
that's
Dave
right.
Chappelle. I just like that movie. Yeah.
Yeah, that was when Chappelle was like 19 or something like
he
that.
was
Yeah,
super
d-
young.
Playing a comedian in Nutty Professor or whatnot.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he go to the same performing arts school as Tupac? Didn't they both go to like performing arts high
I
schools?
knew he was just a studio rapper.
I don't know. 'Cause, I mean,
Tupac went to like a really nice performing arts school
I
in
didn't know that.
Baltimore. He grew up in Baltimore,
yeah.
and then he got all West Coast.
Yeah, that's
on everyone.
interesting. So was the performing arts school in Baltimore?
Yeah,
It was probably in that DC
DC area.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
I don't know.
what took him out to the West Coast? Was it just Dre?
I think it's
rapping. Yeah,
Nah, he actually lived out there.
did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't
Nah,
you
as
can't
far-
rip the West Coast like that
Yeah,
and not have to live
try
there.
not to go off on a tangent to talk about Tupac. But
Sorry, that ended about a minute ago.
yeah, but born in New York as far as I know, and then grew up most of his life in
I know he went to
California.
like a nice performing arts high school. I'm not
Yeah.
questioning the
yeah.
background of Tupac at all.
Gerard,
Let's
are
see.
you good at impressions?
Why you ask?
Answer
Is
the
that your
question.
Tupac?
Answer the question.
'Cause I'm alive.
Can you
Oh,
do
not
a
bad.
a diss track as
Uncle
Tupac
Rod.
on Herschel?
Hold up, pull up his what's the name again?
Herschel.
Pull up the wiki.
William
the Google
Herschel.
Oh,
facts.
okay.
With the wiki with
Let
the
me
Google
see.
effects.
So he was born
William
Friedrich.
Herschel, my enemies full of nicotine.
So what I'm
Thug
seeing here,
life.
what I'm seeing here is he was born in East Harlem in Manhattan, and it doesn't say anything here about Baltimore.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
So-
talking Tupac.
Yeah.
I thought
Oh, I
you
thought
were
you were talking about Herschel.
Welcome
Yeah,
back
no.
to You Talking
Herschel.
Tupac.
Oh, Herschel's for real. He's
He
from
was
Harlem.
he was a Brooklynite. Herschel.
Yeah, Herschel
he
was.
He beefed with Tupac when they were babies, going to the same daycare in Queens.
200 years later. Yeah, Tupac went back in time. That's how he got all of his rhyming
Yes.
skills.
Yep, exactly. I've already thought about.
Yeah, it's
thought about
easy to
doing
become the world's best rapper when you're also a time lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
that. Yeah, I've thought about doing that when time. Well,
When
I'm pretty
time
sure
folds in on
yeah.
itself?
When they have time travel, I'm pretty sure they already got it now. But
Mhm.
why wouldn't I go back in time with all of J. Cole's raps?
to
Ah.
not
right now.
change the future. You
I
don't wanna
think the
change-
references to cell phones and other things might They might.
Yeah, you
confuse
got to go.
people.
You got to go back to the right point in time. You got to go like right before J. Cole put out his first mixtape or something
Yeah.
like that. You can't
Nah,
go
I'm
with the
gonna go back
1700s.
first. Nah. I'm
you
going-
could switch it along.
People would probably burn you at the stake.
Yes, I started rapping like, oh my God, he's rhyming words together.
Yeah.
But it's not in church song.
Yeah. If you wanted to do that, you'd have to go to like a European.
Who owns
country.
this one?
Yes.
Who owns this
Who
one?
taught you this?
Yeah, you'd have to go to a European country where
He
they're more
speaks so well.
open-minded. Yeah, they wouldn't take kindly to that.
Excuse me, sir. Which colonized country do you belong to?
Anyways,
Wilmington, North Carolina.
so again on this day, May 4th, 1919, was the first legal Sunday baseball game.
You know,
Apparently, it was illegal.
They stopped the underground ones before that.
Yeah.
I wonder what they what kind of punishment you got for playing baseball on a Sunday.
Mm.
Was 1919? Wasn't that like the last year that the White Sox or Red Sox won or something like that? Let me look that up.
Well, the Red Sox broke the streak in 2004.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not sure if it was 1919 specifically.
Was 1919 the one that it was fixed, or was that
Mm,
That
1912?
wasn't that Shoeless Joe?
the Black Sox scandal. I've never heard of that
Oh,
before.
yeah,
Yep,
this is
match
the-
fixing.
Yeah. Oh, so it
okay.
was
Yeah,
1919.
I think that was the one with Shoeless Joe.
It was this
Shoeless-
crazy, like, they were just like, hey, because baseball players back then were just farmers. You
Yeah.
know, they were just like guys that didn't go to school.
I thought you were gonna say farters.
Yeah, they
'Cause
farted
they-
a lot
they
because they
look
just
like-
ate tobacco and, you
Yeah.
know.
They're just filling up their baggy pants with farts.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
they're tucked. They're
Exactly.
They have the belts on, and
So
then
just
they're
like-
tucked into the
yeah.
socks.
Stealing
so
stealing
that-
a base means to sneak one right next to the guy without him noticing.
So
Tanner,
just like one mafia guy came up to the Black Sox and was like, "Hey, I'll give you whatever a lot of money was. I'll give you $10 to throw the game." And they're all like, "Sure, mister."
oh my God!
Are you our
I could
coach?
provide
Yeah.
for my family for generations with
Yeah.
that kind of money.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was Shoeless Joe Jackson.
And they all got kicked out of baseball forever.
Ooh, huh?
Yeah.
I had no clue about any of this. This is interesting.
Yeah, there's a famous story about, like, I think the news broke. At least the story goes, the news broke during the game, and some kid runs onto the baseball field and goes up to Shoeless Joe and goes, "Say it ain't so, Joe." I'm pretty sure that's all made up.
Shoeless
but it
Joe
makes for a
hit him in
great
the
story.
face because you were allowed to do that back then.
It just sounds like a scene out of Hey Arnold. You know, I can't imagine that actually
Shoeless
happened.
Joe. That does sound like a Hey Arnold character.
And then someone would
Yeah.
walk up to him and
Stoop
say,
kid.
"Say it ain't so." Yeah, exactly.
Shoeless Joe won't put his shoes on.
Oh. Eugene comes up
Was
and
he-
just pats him on the back like, it's okay.
Is he called Shoeless Joe because he ran so fast he kicked
No,
off
he
his shoes?
didn't wear shoes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
No,
could
he's
only
a
happen
hillbilly.
in 1919.
Dirty hick.
Yeah.
he
Filthy
also
feet.
couldn't read or write.
Mm.
Not surprising.
Well, you sure could swing a bat.
Yeah, that's
Sure
why you
could
played
fix a game.
baseball.
Mm. With no shoes on.
You gonna give me how much money? They slide a piece of paper across.
You gonna give me how much money?
Don't know what that is. They just drew an X over
Sir,
it.
how many quarters is that?
How many nickels can I get? How many movies can I watch?
How many flicks can I see? With the missus.
How many nice ladies can I have in my hotel room?
How many mistresses can I take out on the town?
I bought a copy of Train Arriving into Station. We could watch it back at my place.
And it's just called the Black Sox scandal because the White Sox got tainted or something like that. I mean, the Black Sox weren't a team name.
No. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Did anyone give an answer?
No, but Tanner Fine is extremely interesting.
No,
you know what? I'm going to put on my interesting hat.
I
This
was
is-
being sincere, and Tyler has. Oh wait, there we go. There we go.
I'm interested.
You finally worked out that it has a good fit over the headphones now. You
Yeah,
built
it's
that into
fine.
there.
It's given up.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
It's just like the rest of your body.
it says one group
Slowly forming.
resented the more straight-laced players, later called the Clean Sox. So I guess there was a group of the White Sox who were opposed to throwing the game.
Do you think?
Segregation on a baseball
Yeah.
team.
Yeah,
do you
really.
think the Red Sox were like bleeding so hard, or do you think it was like Redskins where it was like super racist?
Good question. They probably just had
I think
red-colored
because
socks.
they had red-colored socks.
Yeah.
You're thinking way
From-
too much on it, man. It's
from-
just baseball.
From the blood, they were bleeding. They were running so
Baseball's not
or
that
or,
deep.
or just die.
hard. Excuse me. Baseball is the American pastime for a good reason. All right, it's a classic sport.
Because it should have been left past time.
Yes.
Not now.
4 hours.
Well, I was about to ask if there's a more boring sport, but we just covered how there were baseball games made about cricket.
Basketball.
No, there's no way basketball's
I
more
would rather
boring.
watch baseball
Never
than
heard
basketball.
so much hate in a person's
I'd ra-
voice right now.
I would
Really?
rather watch.
You'd rather sit
baseball.
through 4 hours.
Yes.
4 hours.
Basketball,
Yes.
they're always moving, though.
Exactly.
Everyone's always
and
scoring.
it's fun.
I don't
Constant
care.
running. Baseball, you only
I'm
get running after you hit the ball.
I'm
Yes.
so bored.
Baseball gets real interesting about the time you get into like intentional walks and their own
yeah,
baseball bats.
Also, when you've hit the 5th beer, you're really
And
interested.
that's the thing is I like watching baseball if I'm there in the stadium.
Yeah,
and
but
I
imagine-
well,
have,
that's just sports in general. When you're there, it feels awesome, no matter what the sport.
but see, other sports like basketball, football, I can at least watch on TV. Baseball, I
sober.
cannot.
I
I
put
don't need,
on
I don't need
TV.
to
Well,
enable
I mean,
myself to enjoy it.
I should also mention soccer. Cannot watch. Soccer is impossible for
You
me.
guys
Yeah,
probably
'cause-
have trouble watching NASCAR too, because there's 4 hours of going left, but they're
Yes.
like
Yeah.
the cars are going 180 miles an hour.
And see,
it's interesting.
there
to
was
me.
one time in my life where I enjoyed watching NASCAR, but it's because we all had beers and really good food and stuff like that. So it was more about the experience than actually watching the sport itself. But
Mm.
I mean, it's all environment really, and that's why I like watching baseball games in the stadium.
Yeah.
Because
Wait, hockey is
it's-
great
Do
to watch
people watch
anywhere.
NASCAR just straight up, like when it starts?
Yeah, I do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Huh. I like never. I thought I was.
you were
everyone-
gonna talk it, weren't you?
No, I wasn't gonna. I was just curious because I just assumed that everyone just kind of watched the highlights. Because how long is NASCAR? Isn't it
About
like
6
12
inches.
hours? Isn't
No,
it just everyone
no,
driving
4
for
to 5
till everyone
hours.
gets
yeah,
tired?
4 to 5. Yeah,
Oh, that's so
but yeah,
long.
there's no way that they can have a sport that costs that much money if they don't have a rabid fan base. Like so much
I
money
knew
goes
there's
into
a
NASCAR.
fan base. Yeah, I don't
They're
know.
like-
I didn't know anything about it.
They're like $6 billion contracts
How
to get half
crazy.
the season.
Well, just to even run a race costs like $100,000, if not more, with all
Well,
the fuel, with all the tires, paying the pit crew.
NASCAR rents out the track, and then the teams buy the tires from Goodyear, and they buy the fuel themselves. They have sponsorship that they can put on the cars. They get whatever they win from the race, and then NASCAR is getting paid money from the different
Networks,
networks to get that, and then the networks sell the advertising, which is a lot of money.
Wait,
So no one's losing money.
I'm just
yeah.
curious then. Who owns the tracks?
Who owns it? The track owners?
Okay, people
Yeah,
just
whoever.
own these
It's-
tracks.
it's
or are
different
they-
people.
Are they ever
Dimsdale,
used
Dimitrack.
for? Are they ever used for anything besides NASCAR races?
Yeah, sometimes. I think Bristol is like a half-mile one that I went to in Tennessee. It was used for a football game not too long ago.
Hmm.
Yeah.
How,
And
how
they'll-
much does it cost to what is it, tailgating, like right in the center?
Oh,
Yeah, all the
I have no
RVs.
idea, but I don't think it's too much because
Really?
you can't get access to the garage or like the private motorhome lot where the drivers
But
are.
like, I would think that's the ideal spot for like a diehard NASCAR
It-
fan.
Drunk
it's
in the middle of
actually-
NASCAR.
you can't see.
Yeah.
You can't see that well.
Yeah,
So sometimes
you wouldn't really.
people will pay money to camp out in the middle and then also get tickets, go out of the middle and go into the stands.
Oh, okay.
Plus, I mean, if you're in the
What they
middle
get.
of that, being in the stands is already so loud. If you're in the middle of it, it's got to be ridiculous.
Oh yeah,
You'd have
you
to have
want
ear
you have to wear
protection.
headphones.
Yeah. Gotta wrap up the old ears. Use protection if you're at a NASCAR event
Wrap it up.
in more ways than one.
And
Again,
that
on
was
this
the
day.
Black Sox scandal.
And it should be noted the first legal Sunday game was the Phillies versus the Giants. So again, on this day, May 4th in 1959, was the first ever Grammys ceremony. Tanner, I don't suppose you happen to know who took home any awards that
I
night?
actually do. I have it.
Sweet.
I have it right here. Right here. What the hell? I literally just had it pulled up. Yeah, there it is. Found it. All right. So here are the big three.
He has about 17 tabs.
Yeah, it
open.
looks like my
Yeah.
incognito tab.
Oh.
About 1 a.m.
Oh, if I open this laptop up right now.
About 1 a.m.
Yeah.
I do have the big three, which are record of the year, album of the year, song of the year. Record of the year and
Prince.
song of the year are the same. They are both Macklemore's "Can't Hold Us." They are record of the year and song of the year are both Domenico Mondugno for Nel Blue de Pinto de Blue.
Who would have thought that in 1959 they would have been so open-minded?
Yeah, and album of the year was Henry Mancini for the music from Peter Gunn.
Was that a movie? Did
Pe-
anyone know?
Peter
Music from
Guns,
Peter
the
Gunn
rapper?
was a 1959
There's
album.
no Z in this, Gerard.
No, it's an S. It's an S
It
of
was
Peter
a
Guns.
jazz. Wait, I think it's like a jazz album.
Let's see. Peter Gunn
Was he
is
from-
an
is he-
American Private Eye television series.
I know. Yeah.
So, album of the year won a Grammy for a TV series.
show.
Wow.
It's just soundtrack.
Well, I mean, back then,
Interesting.
it's even. Well, I want to say up until like the 80s. That's when they're doing like a lot of their own music, right? As far as like for the television show, it was a lot of like original work.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
like
probably
it
so.
actually cared besides just somebody.
What do you mean original work? I think there's
As
a lot
far
of
as,
original
like-
stuff now.
Yeah.
Well, excuse me. Let me be more
And
specific.
there are good-
It was like instruments being involved. It wasn't just like somebody sitting at a computer or somebody using like the
Oh, you're-
NPC and just
You're one of those
tapping a bunch
people.
of stuff. What do you mean by one of those people?
Yeah,
I
really.
mean, one of those people where it's like, oh God, music today, it's just all computers and synthesizers.
I mean, that's not what I said. All I said was back then it was more instruments.
Well,
an
it really
actual
is.
physical instrument.
In TV nowadays, I think it's safe to say that they're a lot lazier, whereas you just
Yeah.
get like a single shing.
Are there though?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's some.
I mean, of course, you have
interesting-
Game of Thrones and big budget stuff that
Yeah,
have
there's
full-on
some good
scores.
Yeah,
But like when you're talking about
TV.
NBC, CBS shows,
Breaking Bad.
Remember
This
The
Is
Office?
Us.
yeah,
They
when you have a
good
dedicated composer, like I forget the composer's name for Breaking Bad, but he works
So
on a
This
bunch.
Is
So,
Us.
Sydney,
This
is
Is
the
Us
music
is,
today great or not?
I would say that it's safe to say it's lazier than it was. In
Yeah.
I
old
would say
days.
it's music
In
because
general.
every year there's
I think-
bad
I
music
think
and every
there's
year there's
more-
good music.
I think there's more laziness, but I wouldn't say that it's lazy overall.
Or
Okay.
maybe, well, I'm speaking now from like a rap hip hop music standpoint.
Okay, where's
Th-
Tommy Guns coming in?
There's
Tommy
someone-
Guns with the Z's.
Peter Guns, first of all, and
Why did he miss
He's a
Tommy
spitter.
Guns?
because I don't know.
That's a better name.
Well, he wasn't
Still on
named
the
that,
nose.
probably would have been
But-
too closely associated with 1920s.
but my
gangsters.
Caucasian friend trying to get me off a track, like I was saying, with
Stay
rap.
woke. I'm trying to confuse
Excuse me,
you.
excuse me.
Hey,
let me
Peter
raise the
Gunn-
mic for this one right here. What? What's
Peter
up?
Gunn also starred an actor named Herschel, so
Nobo-
it all ties
nobody-
together.
Nobody
Ah,
cares.
creepy.
Hip hop and rap started in the Bronx. You know what I'm saying?
You giving us
We all care, Gerard.
power
Get down.
lecture?
Where is
Nah.
Zulu Nation, and
Nah.
can I get a flight
Alright,
there?
But pretty much, it's just that it's just so much music now that it's just like, wow, this sounds like this guy. Or this beat sounds like this beat. Like it's a certain pattern I'm hearing with
Is
everything.
Yeah.
Did Young Ma not rip off Bobby
Young
Schmurda?
M.A.
It's Young Ma.
Young M.A.
Ooh.
All right.
You can see the two dots in between it.
Do you think like the Rat Pack and Elvis started the trend where it's like, oh, the Grammys doesn't even matter because they didn't win?
Possibly so. I don't know.
That's probably always been a thing. Like, I mean, when
Oh,
anybody,
doesn't matter.
Peter Gunn won. Oh, yeah, these don't matter.
Ever since there were
matter.
award shows,
Leonardo
that has been the
DiCaprio?
case.
Exactly. Yeah. I
Usually
mean,
the first one was given to a score for a TV show. I could see like artists being like, yeah, these awards don't matter.
yeah.
We'll just keep doing our
But
stuff.
I mean, that's generally the mindset of true artists, who
Yeah.
aren't just out to make money for the
Yeah.
label.
Yeah.
I mean, as you say that, but I think secretly they might not admit
everyone's
it. Everyone
everyone's
wants to
goal
win that
is
award.
to do what they want, but I
Well,
want to
look
win.
at Leo.
This is what I always say. People who set out to make music, like they might not have the intention of getting rich off of it, but it's not going to hurt. So you might not have the intention of winning a Grammy, but that validation sure feels good, I bet.
Yeah.
What are we arguing? Are we arguing that people don't want?
Sometimes we
Grammys?
agree and we still
I think
argue.
we're. I,
Yeah.
think we, I think we all agree. Yeah.
Tyler,
No,
I
you
agree
didn't
with
say it
you,
the
but I
way
don't like
that
the way
I
you
wanted
said
to
it.
say it. So this is what this is how I
Yeah,
feel about it
yeah.
right here. But we're just
Tanner,
talking about the same thing.
You made a valid point, but you pronounced it the instead of the. And I swear to God, if you ever do that again,
Excuse me,
Let me
thine
get up on
opinion
my
is
chair and
thine
choke
own.
you.
But to the point that I was originally making, like I think, like if you look at theme songs, you had theme songs like from the Jeffersons and Good Times. Yeah, and now you have theme songs like for The Voice, which is all about music, and it's just like doo-doo-doo-doo.
Hey,
You know,
cartoon theme
There are
songs
no
are still
theme
great.
songs anymore that are great.
You don't.
You know.
Well, like you said, Breaking Bad had a great theme song.
Westworld has a great opening.
yeah,
are we talking,
Westworld,
are we talking
Game of
theme
Thrones.
songs? Or are we talking scores? Straight
Isn't
like
that
just
pretty much
Well,
the
the
same?
music from
All right,
Peter Gunn
okay.
was a
Yeah, now we are.
There's
now
a
we are.
difference
now-
between films and movies.
Yeah.
I want
What are we
Cam to
talking-
just drop in from the roof like SWAT.
Yeah,
if we ever bring that
already
up
red
again.
faced. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we are just really picking at straws here.
Yeah.
Picking
yeah.
each other
It's
apart.
just-
You
Yeah.
can pick at your straws, and you can pick at scabs, but it's going to get infected.
So I guess now's a good time to bring up that we have our call-in system ready to go. So Tanner, if you can get that number on the screen,
So
we're about to take our first break, but whenever we come back, we will be willing to take some calls. Is it up there? I can't.
It's up there.
Okay, very nice,
Yeah.
very nice.
Oh.
858-70 prime.
Oops.
So anyone wants to call in and weigh
Or
in
put the
on
actual
maybe give us
number.
your opinions on some
No,
great
Gerard, I put a fake number up there just to throw people off.
You're
Yeah.
fake.
And it's
Get out of here.
the full
It's
number,
not
just so
valid.
if people are confused about the letters, is 858-707-7463.
Thank you for that. Yeah, so if you guys want to call in and weigh in on our disagreements here, maybe give us some poignant, recent, and or older theme songs.
Or poignant.
Oh, whichever
With
way.
G silent. We're gonna fight. We're
Tomato,
gonna fist fight
tomato.
when we get back.
This is always the
Spy
disagreement
theme song.
Tyler and I have is
Great.
tomato stuff. I do like poignant better though. That does roll off the tongue much better.
Wait, what did Tyler like?
No, he said poignant. I said poignant.
Oh,
which-
I like Tyler's.
Yeah, poignant is really like a hick way to say it, and that's the way I've always said it, which
Mm.
kind of embarrassed about now.
You're real subtle.
All lit yellow is a point.
And it does- It, it does remind us of a fun word from earlier this week, foibles.
foibles,
Oil.
and the Holocaust.
It's a poignant point about
He was
Goebbels' foibles.
You had to be here, right? I'm not being.
It was
racist.
very funny, Gerard. We made very sensitive but funny Holocaust jokes.
Wow.
Does such a thing exist?
Really?
We weren't even making fun of the
Really?
Holocaust.
Yeah.
We kept saying Goebbels
On
over.
this
and
Because
over.
nerdiest show, we just got done talking about
We're-
big.
We're not.
White
Captain
Sox.
America fought the Nazis, sir.
Oh,
Yes.
we have a call in, so we'll take this real quick. Let's see.
Who is it?
Who do we have on the line here?
Oh,
God,
man.
Hey, Dan.
All right. We'll be back in a second.
so confusing.
Have
All right,
fun on the
guys.
break.
Yeah, we'll be back here in about 10 minutes. Back from break number 1. Tyler Wood had an emergency bathroom break he had to go on. But so we're going to talk about some pop culture on this. Well, not on this day. I guess it is kind of on this day because we're talking about it
Good
today.
save. Good save, Sydney.
Yesterday. Late yesterday.
This happened on. Well, we're about to.
Oh, we're getting a call in. Let's see. Hello, you're on Prime Nation Live.
Yeah, this is Tommy Gunn.
Tommy Gunn. Wow.
Wow.
What a pleasure. Man, this is Tommy
Oh,
Gunn.
Yeah, the Tommy Gunn. Yeah, I was up for a Grammy in the 1950s. You kids may be a little more familiar with my son, Peter Gunn.
Whoa.
Oh my
So
God.
I guess
Hey.
you were listening to the show. You're gracing us with your viewership.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, I have a Google notification. It notifies me every time I'm mentioned on an internet radio
Look how
show.
Wait, so-
tech savvy
so you are-
Tommy Gunn is.
So you are not only still alive, but you are very tech savvy.
My God. Well, Mr.
I
Gunn.
am 104 years old.
Wow. Well, you sound great.
I got the world's first audio Google notification.
I don't doubt it. I don't
Well, your
doubt
voice is as sweet as that first record that my dad gave me when I was a young boy.
And don't we
Mr.
all-
Tommy? It's a pleasure to hear from you.
it. Don't we all know and love that record? Tommy, why don't you tell us a little bit about the recording of that first record, Old Blue Eyes?
I was trapped in a log cabin for 4 months. The record label only gave me ham sandwiches, and they said, you get out when you make a good record.
Well-
That's how the music industry's changed.
Well,
now
that's-
everybody's getting all these cars. All I got was ham sandwiches.
That is a shock because I always heard it was just turkey sandwiches.
I heard people were treated badly, but this seems inhumane.
Turkeys that, they were segregated at the time. That's what they gave the black fellas that were doing doo-wop.
Oh my God! So there was not even cheese on these ham sandwiches. You're telling me?
No, just ham.
Just ham and
Not
bread.
Cooked, fully raw ham.
Oh my God! Well,
like cut off the
Pig
pig's
itself.
belly, like just.
Yeah.
well,
just
please
what
tell
it
me
sounds like.
that you got.
The reason I call in is that I heard you fellas mentioning my son,
Peter.
the Guns boy.
Yeah,
the
Peter.
Peter Guns. I forget his name.
James Gunn,
Hold
the
up.
television show.
Peter Guns is your son.
He's my biological son
Peter Guns from the Bronx, whose son is Corey Guns, that's signed
from
under.
the Bronx. Yes, I knew a woman up there. I'd go and visit her, and I left a child in her.
What?
Oh, did you just kind of
Wow.
leave it in there by accident, or did you intend to leave it in there?
I'm a little bit of both. It was the 50s.
How much
Things
trouble?
were happening. I got nominated for my first Grammy. I was celebrating.
So you didn't
I
get?
could imagine they were sort of throwing it at you at that point, huh?
Were there any problems with you?
Exactly.
With being with a
But
person
I've
that's
been
of a different
trying to
race?
Connect with my son. He the original family name Guns actually has a Z on it, and he dropped that for an S. And I know it's just to spite me. I wanted to make this plea publicly that Peter, I still love you. Okay, we haven't talked much. I'm 104 years old. I'm
What-
about to die.
what do you
And
know
I just
about-
wanna
Well, don't
make
say
a
that.
public plea that I love you and I want to reconnect.
That is heartwarming, and let me tell you before we send it over to Gerard. Let me just tell you that we appreciate you choosing Prime Nation Live as the platform to do this. I don't know what Peter's listening habits are, but I think I'm fairly
I
confident.
bet it's this.
I
I
am
bet
fairly
it's
fairly
confident
this.
curious.
that this will reach him.
I am
yeah.
curious. How'd you discover Prime Nation Live?
Well,
How did I discover Prime Nation? Well, you have so many viewers. It was trending on iTunes, and I
not
I had to
surprising.
go, oh, what's this going on here? And I heard your talk of Marvel comic books. I'm an avid reader and watcher myself at 104 years old. It keeps me sharp.
I got to say, you
So,
sound an awful
I
lot.
like what all these white boys and one black guy are talking about.
You sound an awful lot like Stan Lee. Is there?
Yes.
Are you friends with Mr. Lee?
Is this Jack Kirby?
Oh, I fought him back in the 70s.
Oh yeah, he had it coming. He had it coming.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I didn't know who he was at the time. I just passed him in the street, and he disrespected me.
Punch him square in the
Oh.
throat.
He said, nice
Nice.
to meet you, Mr. Guns, and he said it with an S instead of a Z.
Nice.
I punched him square in his ugly face.
Well, Mr. Gunn, I do really appreciate you calling into the show just now, but unfortunately we have a pretty strict structure we like to follow, so feel free to call in any other time. Hopefully Peter will hear this, and I mean, that was heart-rending. So again, I appreciate you calling in.
It was heart-rending.
And we hope to hear from you again. If
Oh.
not on the show, hopefully you'll be putting out some new music.
Oh, absolutely. I'm working on a new album now, kind of like Chuck Berry did before he died. I feel it coming, and I want to get some stuff out.
So
That's
do you
awesome.
think you might collaborate with your grandson, Corey Guns?
Oh, if there's a chance, it would warm this old soul very much.
That sounds amazing.
That's
Now,
pretty
is there
like-
anything? Is there anything besides the album that's coming through the tube that you want to plug? Any appearances, or I guess the album was the plug.
Yes, if you can, I'd like for you to look out for my new album coming out, Guns with a Z.
Oh,
Guns
We
with a
don't
Z.
play. That's the underscore.
okay, subtitled. So it's Guns with a Z. All those words are the actual album title, Guns with a Z.
Are there
Guns
go-
with a Z, and then underneath that, we don't play.
are there going to be any features
I'm
to look forward
finally
to?
venturing out from jazz and tech, and I'm hoping I can get something out.
Wait a
You know,
second. Okay, so
maybe some B words, maybe some fancy cars. I'll see what I
All
can.
right.
and I've been hearing about this secret track from an unknown source that apparently Kendrick Lamar, J.
Don't
Cole.
talk about that on air. I
Oh.
will have you killed.
Wow.
Okay, sorry,
Okay.
Mr. Gunn.
All right.
Right.
So like I said, we do need to get back to our show. We
That's
appreciate.
my street cred coming through.
Well, you're pulling it off. You're pulling it off in glorious fashion. So again, thanks for calling in. Please don't have me killed, and we look forward to hearing this new music you're putting out.
Oh, thanks for having me on, fellas. I love you all.
We love you, Peter Gunn, or Tommy Gunn. Excuse me.
Tommy
I
Gunn.
know it's
Guns.
Tommy Guns, I swear to God, I'll have people at your house any moment.
Oh, hang on.
I
He's tracing the
I
call.
would
Tracing the
not
call. Hang
blame
up.
you.
You can't let him trace the call.
Well,
Well,
I like that he found our YouTube streaming radio show on iTunes.
Yes.
well,
I like that we're top of the charts on
well,
iTunes.
it's Tommy Gunn. You know he.
hey,
he-
yeah.
he-
You find it how you find it.
not the most technologically savvy.
He seemed very tech savvy.
I was surprised, yeah, for
I
104
think, I
years
think he
old,
was
he-
trying to access the what's the
Oh,
VR thing?
Tyler, you missed it.
happened?
We just had Tommy Guns call into the show,
serious?
Yeah, with the Z.
Very
Yeah.
aggressive.
and I know you had a lot of questions you wanted to ask Mr.
Yeah.
Gunn.
Did we get a callback number?
No, he had a
he's-
star 67.
He
Yeah.
strikes us as a very
Yeah.
private person.
he called from a payphone.
and then did star 67.
Yeah, I think he
really
values
wanted to be
his
private.
privacy.
Oh
about
man. All right. Well,
well, I mean, he might still be listening. What are some
Yeah.
questions you'd have for Tommy?
I don't have it's just I'm a big fan. I just want to say thank you,
Mhm.
and I don't want to bother him, have him call back in, but I was like I'm a big fan.
He let us know he's working on a rap album now.
Really?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
are you a fan of his jazz? I presume.
Yeah, just mostly jazz. His country phase was pretty cool, but you guys didn't know about the country phase?
No.
Nah.
no.
The 70s were a weird time.
Yeah.
He punched Stan Lee in the 70s. Punched him right in the jaw.
Yeah. That's some folklore that's been going around. It's funny, he never confirmed it. Stan Lee, doesn't like talking about it, and he hasn't confirmed it yet. So that's
Well,
pretty
Oh
cool.
yeah, that they were saying like he got duffed in the face by some guy. They didn't know
Duffed.
who for some years, and that's what led to the breakup with him and Jack Kirby.
Oh.
Yeah, he was just having a bad day, and I
Maybe
guess
Jack was a
just-
big Tommy Guns fan.
Okay.
I bet Jack, you know what? I mean, I bet Tommy was the one who convinced Jack, you can do, dude, I cut my son off. I cut Peter Gunn off, and you know what? I never looked back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made a pretty heartfelt plea to his son. Apparently, I'm sure you know this already, but
yeah, I know they've been estranged.
Yeah. So maybe this show can be the tie that binds them back together.
Oh, I hope so. I'm so
great.
bummed I had to miss. I saw I was in the bathroom for a while.
That's what having a small bladder does for you.
Yeah.
I would love if this show turned into just us reconnecting families.
Yeah.
Specifically the
Through
Guns
the
with a Z
airwaves.
family.
That was the
Yeah.
goal of the
Mhm.
show when we set out to make a radio show. We said we're going
To help
Mhm.
families.
Oh,
spot on. down.
Sydney, it's funny you mentioned the small bladder. I actually have a very large bladder. That's why I was gone for 15 minutes
Makes
peeing.
sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah. But like I was telling Mr. Guns, we do have a sort of strict structure to get around to.
Like that, it's a sort of strict structure.
It's,
Yeah.
Depends on how we're feeling.
Yeah.
AKA we're done with this convo. We're not talking.
AKA young didgeridoo.
It's just
AKA
it's not.
Tanner really wanted to talk about these two things. He's gonna be really pissed if we don't.
Shut.
All right, what
Your
comic
face.
book thing we got today?
It's not a comic book.
Yeah,
a fidget
actually.
cube.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Let me,
can't.
let me see. Let me see your fidget cube, and I'm gonna just click how many actually we can get in this second.
Well, before we get around to the fidget cube, I
Yeah.
don't know unless you want to talk about it first.
No, we
Tanner.
could talk about the plane first.
Okay, yeah. So people might have already seen this, but in Seattle, Washington, it looked like a little single-engine plane crashed into power lines and then skidded along the ground, caused like at least 3 big old explosions. Somehow, no one got injured.
It is the most, when you see the video, it truly is. Yeah, I've got it pulled up on the screen, and it takes a minute to start. But just for a minute, this: you being in traffic, just going to work. You just hit a red light, whatever. You're checking your phone. There's nothing out of the ordinary. And then in like 5 seconds. But yeah, just to warn people, it looks violent. No one was killed.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yo.
Napalm strike inbound.
So you would think that's like at least 7 people dead there.
Yeah, you'd think people were injured, but only like 2 people on the ground reported injuries. I love the cards.
street light
The
didn't
cards
even
is
go
my
down.
my favorite is the cards that are like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm going home. I am
Well,
going
yeah.
to hug my wife. I'm going to hug my mistress. I'm going to I'm not doing this.
Yeah, I mean, you see a plane crash, that's a sign to
Nah,
just go lay back down.
no,
Not to go to
I
work.
like how
These
slow
are the smart people that realize traffic's about to be backed up for like 5 hours while they're cleaning it up.
Dude, you're
So
so right.
I need to get.
That's
I need
what
to
it
get out-
was.
I need to get out of here right now.
That is-
You're right. That's so what
That's
it
definitely
was.
a
Point.
solid
You don't
excuse
care.
not to go into
You don't
work.
care about other people's well-being. I need to get home. I don't want to be stuck out here. Yeah.
This is
Maybe
just
I feel everyone. I don't know. I feel like there's only like 8 people in the world with dash cams, and then
they
something
found all of
always
them?
happens. To
They're
them.
always
I
in
don't know.
Russia.
Well, yeah, I was
Yeah.
about
In
to say this is
Russia,
like the first
Have you
dash
seen
cam video
when
I've
the
seen.
meteor like went
Yeah.
by?
Yeah.
There was like
Oh,
a video
yeah.
of like a guy like not even paying attention to it.
Yeah. Well, this is the one. Yeah, because like honestly, if you are in this situation, what do you do right now after you've seen this? What is your
Yeah, you
first
just go
response?
home.
Like,
You ask, is Harrison Ford okay?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to think that I would call 911 before I did anything, but like Gerard said, I'd hope I'd be pragmatic enough to just
Nope,
turn around,
Getting out of here.
find a new route.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm calling you, Sydney. I'm coming into work. I'm coming to do Prime Nation Live. Sydney, I'm going to be a little bit late to work today. You're never going to believe this, but I promise you, I'm not making this
Yeah,
up.
it's just another one of Tanner's excuses,
Mhm.
guys.
Did you get Bojangles again?
A zeppelin fell out of the sky.
A Zeppelin?
A zeppelin.
Not even.
What is
Zeppelin.
that? Excuse my ignorance.
You know the blimp, right?
Is that
what
his,
is it called?
a Zeppelin?
Zeppelin?
Zeppelin,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying.
Is that
a hard P.
Led Zeppelin's
Like a
nerdy
soft-
cousin
Zeppelin.
Zeppelin?
Oh, Zeppelin.
Oh, I put an H.
Yeah,
I
he
see what I did.
constantly
I
has
put
a-
an H
has
in
a
it.
cold.
Yeah,
I was about to
Zeppelin.
call him Zeppelin Floyd. Just combining old rock bands.
But yeah, so it was some Oregon pilot. I guess the plane lost power, and kudos because it wasn't his fault or anything, and he was able to land that without killing anybody, and with him survive and the passenger surviving.
So
Do you think
crazy.
they're gonna make a boring Sully movie about him?
I don't know.
Did
he,
you see that
he didn't
movie?
save anyone.
Yeah, he didn't.
So
This would be like a.
Well, he
like a-
saved one person.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
The whole movie with Sully was like, "Oh, you might have done something wrong." No, you didn't.
So like in Flight, where
Yeah.
he saved all those people, but then they're still doing this big
But like
investigation.
less. I mean, I don't know. Lower stakes. It felt
yeah,
like.
yeah.
By the way, so here's what this article says about like what happened because we only saw it falling. After striking the power line, the plane hit a traffic signal, rupturing a fuel cell and sparking a car fire. After hitting the street, the plane skidded to a stop at Harbor Point Boulevard, southeast of Cyrus Way. I'm just more like when it skidded on the road, it didn't kill anybody.
Yeah, and a car fire. None of those explosions even
Why
hurt
are you so
anyone.
disappointed?
I think
why
this
he
is
died?
how this is.
I'm not disappointed.
No,
I'm just
Not a
awestruck.
chance for a 12-kill streak.
One person.
This is the opening to Unbreakable.
You know how
Bruce
long it
Willis
took me to get that
survives-
plane strike? How many kills?
UAV inbound.
Chopper gunner.
Gerard, I hate chopper. Okay. What noise did the plane make when it skirted on the ground?
Skirt, skirt.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh man. So thankfully no one was killed. I guess that teaches you to fly across state lines. Oregon pilot, stay in your lane.
That was a little aggressive there. Like you sitting out like a warning, like
Sydney puts away a giant RPG. He's like,
yeah,
that'll
whoever
teach
you
you.
are, yeah.
I don't have any patience for.
Why don't you tighten up next time?
Exactly. Yeah.
Tighten up, fly right.
Do a better pre-flight inspection, Mister.
Oh, well, speaking of, I have this picture I just found of the plane like after the crash, and I just like these reactions that they have. Or like the firemen people, they're just like, oh jeez,
Oh, not again.
my God.
what do we do, Steve? What, like, I love that he's like, oh, this is gonna take so long.
Well, how do you clear that off? Do you get a tow truck? Do you get a crane?
Yeah, you just start
Yeah.
chopping it up and just put it on a flatbread.
Yeah,
flatbread.
You get a flatbread truck.
Yes.
Straight
from Panera Bread.
a
Panera
plane-
Bread, where you can get your soup bowl and
Yeah.
a salad for lunch.
They call it a planini. Hey.
Bring Tommy Gunn back on the show, please.
Yeah, so we're gonna be making Reese's cups today on the show.
I would appreciate if you didn't undercut me about my Reese's cups.
So as we were saying though, before we got around to the plane, these fidget devices,
Yeah,
causing
so-
quite a stir in schools.
Yeah, so if you've heard, there's these things, these fidget cubes, and
Mhm.
they're for people like me. Now, I want to note that the article said it's great for people who are autistic or have ATD. As far as I know, I have
ADHD or ADD, you mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
excuse me. As far as I know, I have none of these, but I love something to do with my hands, like at any given moment.
Or if you're anxious, I
Or-
guess.
well, that's
Yeah.
really what it
Anxiety.
is. I just need something to do with the hands. It's not like I'm focusing too much,
Mhm.
but anyway, it just lets me do stuff with my hands like, well, nothing's really going on. And I've brought one here that I've got, and I freaking love this thing. I especially love this little stick on the top you can squeeze in, and mainly, and Gerard was testing it out earlier, this light switch thing. I could do this all freaking day. But here, does anyone want to see this?
Oh, yeah.
I checked it out earlier, so
Yeah, my ex-girlfriend had one.
Ooh,
And,
no hands.
She had some anxiety problems, so it helped her out a lot. So they're good. They're good things.
They are, and I think they are really cool. But this article from the Chicago Tribune is saying that because of their counterpart, these things called spinners, they're getting banned in some schools.
I saw this in Sears the other day. Yesterday,
Yeah,
actually.
these spinners things.
Yeah.
Those things
I
look
had no idea
huge.
what they are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
and they're not even like an anxiety,
that's the
cure.
difference. Yeah, these are distractions. I get why you'd ban spinners. They're a toy, and you're like looking at the thing the whole frickin' time, as far as I'm aware. But I don't get why you got to ban the fidget cubes as well. The cubes ain't done nothing wrong.
Like I could see how the light
Cubes
switch.
ain't did nothing to nobody.
The light switch is kind of noisy. I could see that, but
Yeah. I mean, the clicking noises. I remember when I was a kid, I left my Game Boy in my book bag. I just kept turning it on and off just to annoy the teacher. Besides her hearing like the little dinging noise
Yeah.
that it made, she just kept hearing the switch. So like I can understand why they would ban it, even when like they weren't even really that well known of a thing. Somebody was probably like, put that away. That's a distraction to everybody. You're making too
Right.
much noise.
Now, see, I do get that with the fidget cubes. It does make a lot of noise. So if you banned it because of that, but I understand like one of the things this article pointed out is some of these kids who might use the fidget cubes normally they'd be doodling. This allows them to actually like focus because they're just moving their hands around. That's all it is. It's just kind of for someone who's kind of anxious like me, it just lets me focus on other things.
well, and a lot of kids too do have social anxiety, where being in a classroom surrounded by kids, they're too anxious to even focus on school. So something like this to give them something else. I mean, pretty much exactly what Tanner said, to give them something to focus on while they still have their eyes on the board and their ears engaged in what the teacher's saying. Is going to be helpful as long as it's not distracting to other students. So my girlfriend is also a special ed teacher. I know that Tanner, you said your sister is as well. And she was saying that she brought this up before I even told her we were going to be talking about it yesterday. She said that they had to ban the spinner things at school already, but some of her students have these rings that have the light switches on them where you can just turn it to the inside of your hand and flip it back and forth and it doesn't make a noise.
Oh, okay.
And
Oh,
it's
that's-
really
that's
helpful for
perfect.
They
her
just have
students.
something very, very discreet.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very discreet.
Tanner, where'd you get this?
Actually, at work yesterday,
He
I
stole it from his boss.
I did, and then I said, "Can I have this for the show tomorrow?" Which actually meant, "Can I have this forever?" And he said yes. So
Yeah, I like that. I just played with that for like 5 seconds, and
This one
enjoyed
seems much higher quality than the one my ex-girlfriend had, because this one, like, the light switch is it has a lot more resistance than the
Yeah.
other one I played
Yeah.
with, and the 5-point thing, the middle one was like soft. It didn't actually
Ooh.
click.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of frustrating.
And I like too the little metallic ball there that you can
Mhm.
just roll around.
I would
That's
love doing
nice.
that just like while I'm driving, sort of, just like
Well,
to get bored. I mean,
I
not like I'm not looking at like. I mean, you're not looking at it while
I
you're
know,
doing
just
it.
like I just like that statement. Yeah, just
Yeah.
while I'm driving, I need
No,
a distraction.
I
But
know
when you drive for like, I
No,
drove down to
I
Atlanta
know, I
like
just
a bunch
like
of
the
times,
sentiment.
and that's like a 6-hour drive. Like I picked up a vape the last time I went down because I was just so bored,
Kill yourself.
and I just started puffing on this vape.
Did
For
you learn
like
any
3
sweet
days.
tricks?
Yeah, I'm so good at blowing
Being a
O's now
virgin.
and being a virgin. Yeah, I'm so good. I've got the V God hat. I can do the. When do like the tornado on the table.
I know what you mean though, because like on long drive, I've gotten into the habit. It's like an anxious thing. It's like there's a word for this anxiety thing, but like I'll pluck at my beard hairs,
Yeah.
and I'm just like twiddling them.
Yeah.
Some of them will come out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
oh
like,
yeah.
I've noticed this is it's a very common thing.
We classify that as like ADHD and stuff. It's just a human thing.
Yeah.
We just like
Word.
need something to do at almost any given moment, and that's not wrong. It's just that's why in school it's like you do need stuff like recess because you have to take breaks. You
Yeah.
have to be able to kind of like clear your mind even just for a minute.
True. So like we all said, the spinner things don't really make much sense in terms of an anxiety relief. They're really
I don't-
just a distraction.
I don't know what they do.
They
So Fidget, please send us
They
some
spin
of
around
your
and light
fidgets.
up.
they're
They
just
spin-
like
yeah.
they're like a 3-pronged
This one.
circle thing with a button in the middle. You press the button down and it just starts spinning.
That's
So, and I imagine they have ones. Yeah, exactly. I imagine they have ones that probably light up too and everything like that.
Speaking of wastes of like 50 cents, I went to an arcade. There's an arcade in the mall, and I went in there, and arcades are actually kind of fun. As
yeah,
someone
I love
who
arcades.
I love a good arcade,
didn't
man.
habitually go to one as a kid.
Mhm.
It was a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
When my brother actually like played sports and he played hockey, and the place where he played hockey they had an arcade, and that's where I spent all my time when I was forced to go with my mom and my
Yeah.
brother to play.
Yeah, I always loved going to the bowling alley and just hanging out in the arcade
Arcade
because they had like the sniper game and Time Crisis and all that stuff.
Time Crisis.
See,
Yeah.
I
That's
was
a fancy bowling alley you had.
I guess so.
Video games are so. I mean, arcade games are like so much more expensive now.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
I
It's
feel
like
I'm
a
just-
dollar
like
per
you have
play.
To, there's
Yeah.
credit card swipers on
Yeah.
them now.
Are there really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah, I went on a date there yesterday, and I lost a lot of money.
Yeah, I was about to say that's if you're just swiping a credit card.
Yeah.
That's
So
a way to
I
go.
didn't
that's
use a credit
my,
card, but I found a lot of
yeah.
coins.
Yeah,
My
nice.
Drew tip of the week is go to Dave and Buster's on like a Tuesday because they have like half price deals.
And that's the
And,
only
it's,
tip
and
you'll
Dave
be
and
getting.
Buster's already is cheaper than most arcades.
I've never been to
I've
a
been
Dave and
to.
Buster's.
Is
I
there one
always
in town?
wanted to.
It's a-
I don't know. If there's one.
Well,
in
this
town.
is a half Drew tip of the week.
It's whatever.
It's
It's for everyone out in.
it's a
in
grown
local
up
town.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, like you
Yeah.
get to
Pretty much.
drink while you're
Yeah.
playing games and
Mhm.
stuff.
Which is a
It's awesome.
terrible thing to do. 'Cause I'll be
Ever
ready
been
fight
to
somebody.
Are there any
Yeah.
barcades around here?
Well, there's no, but
There's
there's
kind
Blue
of-
Post,
yeah.
which has a bunch of arcade machines, and I like
Growlers too.
They have a bunch of really good. The Walking Dead pinball machine is a great pinball machine. That is there's somehow I don't
Yeah,
know.
I like
the
pinball.
I
What
don't-
makes it so great from other
That's
Yeah.
no,
pinball
I
machines?
agree.
Nothing.
I don't know
It
what
just
it
has a
is,
cool
but we
theme.
tried like all of them. The Playboy one is decent. The Avengers one sucks.
The Playboy's one broken.
Oh,
Mm.
Yeah, like some of the fun stuff stuck open.
okay, yeah. But like the Walking Dead one. See, I don't know pinball design. I'm not going to claim that, but for some reason, the Walking Dead one clicks with me and the other people I've played these pinball machines with
They got
more
better
than any of the
bouncers.
others. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah, I played better pinballs. There was a Family Guy pinball machine.
Well,
at,
before
like,
we
my
get
beach.
down a pinball rabbit hole, we have to take a break. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes. We can get all of
these
our
fans
You
want
want
to
me to
hear
put
about our
the-
pinball
we can
stuff.
get all of our pinball talk out during the break, and if we
Pin-
find any really useful nuggets of information, we can share.
Do you
it.
want the number back up on screen?
Sure, yeah, put that up during the break.
All right.
Pinball wizard hole? No? I'll work on it.
Yeah.
I'll have it when we get back.
Sounds
All right.
good. Yeah, we'll punch that one up. All right, guys, we'll be back here in about 10 minutes. Back from our second break. It is May 4th, Prime Nation Live. We're going to talk about a little bit of nerd culture right now, starting off with The Dark Tower. The trailer just dropped yesterday. Of course, this is a Stephen King adaptation. And I forget who the director is, but I know I got to give a shout out to the assistant director.
Dave Ingus.
Dave Vingus, yeah.
What's the quote from the book that
Dave Ingus.
people that stands out? Like the man,
It's
the man in the
the Man in Black.
The man, the myth, the legend.
like he walks. I don't know how it goes.
The man who walks funny, talks funny.
So the director is Nicolas Arcel.
That's right, yeah.
and
yeah.
he's directed. Wow,
He directed the Swedish version or whatever version of the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Oh yeah, he wrote it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You ever see those?
No.
No, I never have.
Yeah.
I hear that they're good, but way
They're
more
good.
brutal than
Yeah,
the.
they're rough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean it's a brutal book anyway. So
Yeah.
So, who here has read the Dark Tower books?
I have it. I just bought the first volume like over the summer and still haven't gotten around to reading it.
Man, I'll read.
I just heard about this yesterday. I mean,
Yeah?
like I kind of in passing, I've heard of Dark Tower, but like I didn't know anything about it until I saw the
Speak
trailer.
into
Yeah,
the
like I didn't know the
microphone.
premise. I
What?
didn't know the significance of the tower itself or anything like that. I know Roland. How do you pronounce his last name, Tanner?
I don't even remember the last name. I just called him Roland.
Or
And I-
Shane?
So yeah,
Wait,
I guess I'm the only one. I've read the first 2 books. I have the 3rd book. I started it, and then I just kind of stopped. Not because I didn't like it, just because I don't know things. That life happened. Okay, and
Things fall apart.
He's the
Yeah.
one that's like, who's read the books? And then and everybody's like, no, we just don't have the time. And then he goes, okay, well, there's this one. I haven't had time, guys, but it's
yeah,
Nobody's mad at you, Tanner.
I know.
Tanner, you're doing a good enough job.
I'm not even that.
You're wearing cargo shorts for all
Okay,
those
this-
numbers you're
all
gonna
the
get.
things you can fit in your pockets
Yeah.
now.
I can. So I read the book or the first 2, and this movie seems to be. I think there's like 7 books total, and based on the trailer, it looks like they're gonna just try to tell one story, probably like leave things open ended, which I think is a good thing. I mean, it's not like Harry Potter, which is super
Yeah.
marketable. Everyone gets it. I mean, good
And
for
like
kids.
I feel like if they did want to set it up in a trilogy or a series, it would have some sort of subtitle.
Yeah, it was weird. The original plan was to have it be they were gonna do a movie, then a series on HBO,
Yeah.
then another movie, and it was gonna be this really weird way of like.
That's
what-
doing too much.
That's what a lot of shows have planned to do lately. Like Community tried to do the same thing, and there was at least one other show that tried to that set out to do a movie, then a show, and then wrap it up with a movie too.
Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius.
Really?
Ooh.
Okay.
Well, that
That's a
was
good
like
example.
they wanted to do a show, and they made the movie first, and then did the show.
Well, that's
Huh.
kid stuff. Because, I mean, you want to market it. So it's like, get them
Was-
hype about it. And then, like, oh, this is a TV show.
Was the Community thing pre or post Yahoo?
I think
That was Community. I think at the end of the 3rd season, they ended with a hashtag that said 6 seasons in a movie.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
They didn't intend that really. They just intended to make a show that lasted a while,
Huh.
and it did. I mean, Community took forever to die. I mean, for all the
Yeah.
things people are like, oh my god, we need to bring it back, guys. It did get 6 seasons, right?
Yeah, and that's
It-
more.
Yeah.
American shows ever do it.
Yeah.
They stop after they should.
There's shows I love that got 1 season. Hell, that 1 season might be only like 13 episodes.
Yeah. Did anybody watch Outsourced?
No, did you like?
yeah,
that
I
show?
remember
I
when
liked
that was
it,
on.
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah.
What was that?
It was like an
I
NBC.
have no opinion of Outsourced. I remember
Have you
watching
seen it?
Yeah, I remember
Okay.
watching the first 3 episodes and like not feeling anything.
It was like an
It was
NBC
weird.
comedy, right?
NBC comedy.
Yeah.
A guy goes to manage,
Based on a movie.
He goes to manage a call center in India, and by the end of the first season, he ends up falling in love with a girl over there. And
Aw.
it's a fish out of water thing. I enjoyed it.
Nice.
Um,
But, just
wh-
going back to Dark Tower.
Yeah, I was going to ask about
Uh,
Dark Tower. Is it like it's supposed to be based on the Gunslinger?
Well, yeah, so there's basically Stephen King's. I love the introduction of the first book where he says this was Lord of the Rings meets Clint Eastwood westerns. That was how he did it in his head.
It's a really cool mythology.
Yeah.
Like I'm familiar with the mythology just from Wikipedia. But
Yes.
like I said, I haven't read the book.
But it's I really did enjoy those books though, and I do think this movie just looks super cool. I mean, that's even you guys didn't read the books, but you guys saw the trailer. You guys thought it looked cool.
Yeah, it looks cool.
I haven't seen the trailer.
Oh.
Is that guy black?
Yes.
I'm a boy.
Idris Elba.
Idris-
Elba.
Oh, it's
So, yeah,
Idris
of course-
Elba?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so
shoot.
that was, of
Great.
course, some controversy because the character Idris Elba is playing, the gunslinger, is white.
All
Get
right.
over it.
It
Who cares?
really is like Stephen King said, "Get over it."
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah. I never get why there's such a huge like controversy online when stuff like
I-
that happens.
I
'cause it's like,
understand it.
No, but it's they're fictional characters at the
Yeah.
end of the
No,
day.
I
So,
understand.
Like, who cares?
On the fact of like, just don't. They don't want to change it too much. They don't want to adapt to the change of it. It's like seeing this character's been like when it was rumors when Donald Glover was supposed to be like the new
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man,
which would have been
Yeah.
great.
And
I
and people
would've-
was just like,
yeah.
nah, no,
Yeah,
no.
but like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's a fictional character, and can
Nope.
it just be anything?
They want it to stay the same.
well, did they end
All right.
up? Because I remember in the Cursed Child or whatever Harry Potter play, they were going to cast a black woman as Hermione. Did they do that?
They did. Yeah,
did,
and
okay,
J.K.
cool.
Rowling
Yeah,
said,
gave her
and J.K.
blessing.
Rowling had a whole post where she's like, "Well,
It was
this is a-
ambiguous whether or not
this
she
is-
was white
yeah,
or black.
Yeah.
It's a fictional character, and do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
They can be whatever they want.
Yeah. They
It's
had
a-
that. They did Empire Strikes Back in I think Broadway, and Ellen Page played Han Solo, and people were really happy with that. Apparently, she
Hell,
did.
Allison Williams played Peter Pan.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Peter Pan's always like played by the girl.
Just because back then they needed, 'cause
They got the on the Flash TV show.
Wally West.
ISIS.
Or
Iris. ISIS. Something.
Freudian slip there.
yeah.
Well,
Well,
ISIS is also an Egyptian god.
Egyptian god. Yeah.
Okay.
True.
Also, the agency from Archer, which can no longer call itself that.
Yeah,
because-
that's right. That is
Yeah.
right. They named it that like right before
Yeah, I saw
ISIS
an
came to
interview
prominence.
where they said like they had a Google alert, and they were aware that ISIS was a thing, but they're like, all right, hopefully, they'll get snuffed out before they become an international problem, and that did not happen, so they had to change the name. But just again,
Yeah, they changed the name of the international organization to ISIL.
Yeah.
And that solved it. They're like, we can't get sued by FX.
Yeah. But so Sydney, I mean, we were just saying, like, going back to Dark Tower, you saw the trailer. What'd you think?
Dude, I was really impressed. I mean, I never had any doubts about the movie, but stylistically, aesthetically, it's so beautiful. Not only like in a Western type landscape like Westworld pulled off, but I mentioned it to you guys. Revolvers and westerns and gunslingers have been a movie trope for like 70 years now, and they're still finding new ways to make it interesting in this. Like just his reloading, I could watch just a supercut of all
like
the ways that he reloads in this.
The first thing in the book, maybe not the first chapter, but the first major like plot thread is just this small town he goes to, and he just murders everyone after they all try to kill him. So it's not like cold blooded.
Okay.
Yeah, but they explain like the thing that makes him such an amazing gunslinger is his reloading trick. And I mean, they can only explain it so much, but the visuals of seeing that on
Dude.
screen, I'm like, okay, nailed it.
I mean, not only just with him like manipulating the gun to catch the bullets and stuff, but even when he was dropping the bullets in his spinning chamber,
That he's
so
just
cool.
so good at reloading the. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, do you guys remember how much Tanner freaked out about spoilers in Logan, and he just unloads this with no warning whatsoever?
What's a trailer? You
It's
can't
also
you can't
like the
spoil a
first
trailer.
No, he said the first
Trailer.
plot thread in the book.
Okay, but
Oh.
I say plot thread. It's like the first 50 pages of a 300-something page book, and they never come back to it.
Well, now that I've seen this trailer, I'm definitely going to pick up the book at some point.
That first
soon,
book
like-
is definitely
like Tyler
really-
said, whenever I get time.
Oh, yeah,
find-
Tanner, well, Logan's Wolverine. Spoiler alert.
The way he pops his claws out every
Yeah,
time.
the thing
Oh,
that sets
man.
him apart is he has those metal claws.
They don't come out all the way anymore because he's getting old, and he's like, I
Yeah.
swear to God, this never happens. He has to take
It's more
medication.
painful
Also,
to him now.
I'm very excited about Idris Elba as the gunslinger. I think that's the best freaking casting. But I actually really like Matthew McConaughey as
Yeah.
the Man in Black as well. I think that's really good casting.
They make really good adversaries, like even when they're face to face, just like their countenance, their height, even. I think that it's a perfect pair in terms of adversarial equals. But then also, I was saying this before we got on air as well, that the whole sort of speech that he gives throughout the trailer, if it was a lesser actor, it would just be corny, where he's like, I don't kill with my gun, I kill with my heart, so on and so forth. But man, Idris
Yeah, I
Elba
believed
pulls
him.
it off,
Yeah.
man. And
Idris Elba can pull almost anything.
exactly, yeah. And in conjunction with the visuals that you're seeing at that time, and it's a
Mhm.
really immersive trailer. Like it doesn't really give you too much about the story, but it feels like it sort of takes you through the movie, you know?
It's kind of like what Mad Max Fury Road did.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
It got me pumped. I'm like, now I want
It
to
really
see more.
captured the tone of the movie
Yeah,
as
now
opposed
I'm-
to just giving you info about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, I'm really happy that they're. I think it's a good move to say, okay, 7 books we know, but this project to get it off the ground has already been near impossible. Let's just try to make one great movie and maybe make a sequel. Like
Yeah.
that, I think is the smart way to play.
But
this.
see, this
So the-
too, it does lend itself to a series. So maybe the movie will be successful enough they can
TV
continue
show,
it on.
maybe.
Yeah.
Is
It's
the
stuff- yeah.
book series just like, okay, book 1 is the gunslinger?
Yeah, the first book is called The Gunslinger. The second book is The Drawing of 3, and I forget what the next couple books are called.
Is the gunslinger in all of them?
Yes,
Or,
he
okay.
is.
Is it,
He
is
is
it
in
the
all of them.
Dark Tower stories, or what are they called?
No, they're just called The Dark Tower is the name of the series.
Okay.
And then
So
each
it's the
book
Dark
has a
Tower,
subtitle.
the Gunslinger, and it's the Dark Tower, the second book.
And then it's the Dark Tower and the Prisoner of Azkaban. And it's
Yes.
the Dark Tower and the Goblet of Fire.
Yes.
Do they wrap it up
Gotcha.
at the 7th book?
Yeah,
though? Okay.
The Dark
and the
Tower.
ending
The Twin
is apparently
Towers.
very polarizing.
Or what was
But
And the tale of
The
the
Two
wicked
Towers.
wedgie ladies.
That's a crossover that needs to happen.
oh
Yes.
yes, well, because he crosses over to Earth, and it's implied that Stephen King's books have their own Marvel DC-esque multiverse
Mhm.
that can all cross into each other at any
Well,
Yeah,
given
this
moment.
one seemed very like sci-fi Marvel.
Well, it all
dimensions.
So-
yeah, very
It all
true.
sort of connects with the Dark Tower is the one where it all sort of says like, yes, all of these books are in a multiverse.
Have you
and at
guys-
any moment they could connect?
Have you guys heard about the Castle Rock TV show?
No.
Yeah, so they're doing an anthology series based on the fictional town that Stephen King's majority of his stories take place in, Castle Rock.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's a
and,
cool idea.
Mark Bernardin is on the writing team, who is a fantastic writer. I'm really, really excited about it. But it's interesting because they're going to tie in
There's no Dave Ingus.
all. Well, Dave Vingus isn't a writer. Watch yourself.
Yeah,
But,
he's an assistant director. Very good. A lot of CGI stuff.
and producer. Yeah. But so what was I just saying?
Dave Ingus.
No, God, you guys.
How they
Stephen
pulling
Pinkhouse.
how they
Stephen
pulling
Pinkhouse.
everything together.
Yeah, so they're
Yeah.
doing like all of his horror stuff. Like you're gonna have Cujo and Carrie and all those things going on. So I wonder if they'll make any allusions to the Dark Tower because
Yeah.
in the book series it purports
all
that
right,
Stephen King exists.
let me see this. All right, so at the end of Dark Tower, the movie, it's gonna kind of end or whatever. Like all right, let's say the gunslinger is like he's at the tower and
They
they're fighting.
stopped the Dark Tower from hitting
They
New York.
stop, and then they're just chilling and talking and whatnot, and then
And
like,
then
you just
Cars 3 happens.
see, no.
And then-
Wait for it.
Nick
Then
Fury
then
comes
you
out.
see 3 different separate colored balloons just float in the air, and then Pennywise pops out.
Oh, I thought it was going to be
End
Up.
credits.
I thought it was going to be the Up house.
Also, I'm
balloons.
with Weber on this one. I think Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson shows up and he goes,
Yeah.
"I'm here to talk to
Gunslinger,
you
have
about
you
the
heard
IT
of it?
initiative."
But wait a second.
The initiative.
It was either Morgan Freeman or Denzel. Isn't Denzel
One of the black guys.
No.
They're in there.
No, it's an older black guy. It's not just a black guy.
James Earl Jones.
But no, in the Dark Tower, I swear it was one of those who's playing the gunslinger's father. Roll it.
Yeah, he did look familiar. Yeah,
Yeah.
he does look familiar. Yeah, I think he's
I'm
talking
going to look that up real quick.
Okay.
John Coffey.
Is that from the Green Mile?
Yeah, which actor was that? He's dead.
That is
Michael Clark Duncan.
yeah,
Michael Clark Duncan. There you go.
He is unfortunately dead.
He's great. You know he was married to Omarosa.
Hmm?
Omarosa. She's in.
I'm gonna cut back
she's,
to a shot of
she's in the
Elsa.
she's in the Trump cabinet. She won the first season of The Apprentice.
Whoa.
She was like the bitch of the season. I'm not allowed to say that word. Sorry. That was kind of just like that was her thing.
Thanks a lot.
Go on.
Thanks a
You
lot.
have
She's in the
the
Trump
floor.
cabinet. I don't know. This is she's a political
I know who you're
figure
talking
now.
about, but
I know-
Omarosa.
She had her little 15 minutes of fame like 10 years ago.
No, but she's an advisor now
Oh.
to the Trump cabinet. To the Trump.
She's not doing a very good job.
Yeah, it's
Well,
full of
obviously
people
not.
that shouldn't be doing what they're doing. But back to this Dark Tower stuff. I'm getting a little irritated.
I think. Hey, let's play a drinking game. Every time we say "Back to the Dark Tower," take a drink. But sorry, Gerard. Go ahead.
You know, it was
Nah, I'll
originally
just take it back to it. Yeah,
the character was originally supposed to be the White Tower, and they recast it.
yeah, with the height of everything going
I like
on.
this.
Black,
And
black
Stephen,
is what's in.
Yeah.
and Stephen King's like, get over it.
No more white. Black.
Stephen King's version of "Get Out, Get Over It."
Black is the new white.
I like this image here. Like the bird there is looking like. Is that a black guy under there? I really hope not.
Well, you can't tell
I
with that
thought
picture.
this is a good neighborhood to
It's
build my
ambiguous.
nest.
Turns out it's Jim Crow from Dumbo.
Or it's a reverse of the of Oz, whatever it was.
What,
What's-
the Wiz?
We had the Wiz. It's the reverse. where
Michael Jackson
You
has
had the super
scarecrow.
racist crows. Yeah, this is the reverse.
Oh man, I just kind of want to wrap up saying, yeah, I am looking forward to this movie. I think it looks cool.
You kind of turned me on to it.
Yeah, I recommend.
Watch the trailer.
Yeah, watch the trailer
really
for
good.
sure.
Well, like,
and I
I-
do recommend that first book for sure. It's fun. It's a good read.
Stephen King creeps me out, like a lot of his stuff, but it's so well done. And then some of it's like not even paranormal at all, like
Yeah,
the
that's the
Shawshank
whole-
Redemption.
Yeah.
So, and this is like, it doesn't seem super paranormal.
more
It's,
like
just a little weird.
It's more like a fantasy. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
really cool actually the way that
all
world
state.
works. Yeah.
So the guy I was thinking of, does he not look strikingly similar to Denzel Washington? His name
Nah.
is Dennis Haysbert.
Yeah.
he does to
Yeah,
me.
he has the handsome factor, but it's just he's in the Allstate
He's
commercial.
Allstate.
That's him?
Okay.
Yeah.
You're in
Yeah.
good hands.
Really?
That's
Are you
perfect rendition.
Yeah.
You're talking about
Pretty good.
Yeah, when
IMDb.
kids start talking like, "Don't worry, Dad, we have."
Wait, is that
Allstate."
Groot?
That's Groot.
Baby Groot.
Oh wait, I said all-star actor. Because I thought that was
Sydney, no pressure on
Somebody
camera.
wants.
it is Dennis Haysbert. Yeah. Haysbert rather. Nice.
You know what? That movie probably has a good shelf life, but not a half life.
Good one.
I know.
So, yeah.
I hate
Just
myself
just
too.
a moment of silence for all the people that were still hoping that they were going to get a Half-Life 3 game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
really.
It's been like 12
thought-
years in the making.
I thought you were about to say just a moment of silence for all the listeners who just killed themselves after hearing Tanner.
It's
So
just-
like-
Isn't that a life and a half? 3 half-lives?
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Good
yeah,
thing, yeah. It's 150% life.
Bazinga.
so I'm with Gerard. Let's
But no,
Just-
I'll let you take this one, Tanner.
let's pour one out for the people who are still hoping for a third Half-Life game because
Pouring out for your homies, Tanner.
Go ahead.
No,
Dust
see,
off your orange
well, I'll
box.
go into it. I don't really care about Half-Life, but
Case.
I kind of wanted it to happen just to give those people some hope.
Yeah.
And basically, for those who don't know, Half-Life 3 might be the most requesting gaming sequel I've ever heard of. I mean, even going back as far as like these 80s go.
Bigger than Jade Empire 2.
Bigger than Shenmue 3, which got a big reception when that got announced last year. But Half-Life 3 has been desired for so long, and the last writer who worked on a Half-Life game has left the company that made it, Valve, which is just another nail in the coffin. I'm sorry, guys. This game is not happening.
It's not.
We got to accept it.
Or even if it is going to happen, it's not going to be the same because it's not the same.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be something totally different, which, hey, maybe that's what has to happen. But let's, Gerard, Half-Life 3, it's dead. Let's just acknowledge. Also, even if, the thing is that Valve, the parent company, they have no interest in making games anymore. They're all about that money that they get as the big hub for buying games, Steam. That's where all their money is. And so
Steam comes out of a Valve.
Yeah.
See? Bring it together. Steam comes out of a valve.
So
a valve is used in testing the
pipes
which lead to
Dark Tower
that produces more steam. Now we have a square. You cut that in half,
and you switch it around. It's a swastika.
Then you break that down even more, and you can make a triangle. Half-Life 3.
Illuminati.
Man,
there we go.
Was
mind, soul, and body.
That reminded me of that old riddle. Did you guys ever hear the riddle? It's a ridiculous one. How do you get out of a room with just a table and how do you get out of a room that has no windows, no doors, but a table and a mirror?
Kill yourself.
You look in the mirror, you see what you saw, you take out the saw, you cut the table in half, two halves make a hole, you jump out the hole and escape. I learned that when I was like 5.
Okay, that
sounds like a
I know.
It's episode.
Exactly, it's so
that's
ridiculous.
The worst riddle I've ever.
But for whatever reason,
use mods on a riddle.
Yeah, that's
good,
cheat
good
codes.
segue back, Tyler.
Yeah.
For whatever reason,
R2, L1,
stuck
R2,
with
up,
me.
down, left, right.
I can't believe that I know like that whole sequence in my head. I literally learned that when I was like 5.
Because you were probably so irritated, like this is the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a riddle for you guys. There are, if you've heard this, don't yell the answer. There are 30 cows and 28 chickens. How many are left?
What?
There are 30 cows and 28 chickens. How many are left?
I guess
All
it
of
depends
them.
on
The
their
rest of the farm.
depends on their political leanings.
2.
No, that's not correct. What?
2 left.
No.
Okay.
I say all of them.
Nope.
Did you leave them somewhere? Is that the joke?
No, there's 30 cows and 28 chickens. How many are left?
Yeah, I mean,
There's 10.
58.
There's 10 because there are 30 cows and 28 chickens.
Got it.
That's good.
Ah.
I like that. I like it. That one I prefer.
I remember that one just because like this guy Tyler Wood told the dumbest riddle I've ever heard of my
Pete
life.
and repeat are in a boat. Pete falls out. Who's left?
No one, because repeat follows him.
I didn't hear the first part.
Pete and repeat are in a boat. Pete falls out. Who's left?
Nobody, because repeat followed Pete.
Yeah.
Pete and repeat are in a boat. Pete falls out. Who's left?
Nobody,
Pete and repeat
are in a boat. Pete falls out. Who's left?
Nobody, because repeat followed Pete.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not.
Yo, let this be
I'm
the
not gonna
last
guess
riddle,
this one.
man.
Am I not close?
Just answer. No, you're not close. Keep saying it though. Keep whispering it to the mic.
Sure, yeah.
Pete and repeat are in a boat. Pete falls out. Who's left?
Nobody, because repeat followed Pete.
Repeat.
Pete and repeat are in a boat. Pete falls out. Who's left?
Okay, I see.
It's just meant to be funny.
Yeah, we really took the steam out of that one.
Yeah.
Speaking
Sorry
of
about
steam, nailed it, Sydney, with the segue.
Yeah, to get back to Half-Life 2.
Is
it
Idris
was
Elba
3.
black?
Dude,
All the time?
Yeah, dude, no, if Idris Elba can play Gordon Freeman in the Half-Life movie, if they ever make one, that's some casting I want.
Idris Elba's a handsome man.
He is. He could play
yeah.
like anything.
Yeah,
But,
hopefully
Play
he'll
with
be
my
playing
heart.
James Bond one of these days.
Yeah, we'll see.
Are they
But-
still? Are they casting?
They're saying Daniel Craig is supposed to
it
have
was
signed on for one more.
Oh my God.
I think it was
just
one of those
big
like people were like playing with the idea.
I hear
like,
he
maybe
hates
might have
it.
been a rumor, and then like
Daniel
somebody was
Craig,
saying
yeah.
they were saying like we don't want like this. I don't want to say they said thug, but they said something in that like as
This
far as
Jesus.
like
person.
as like leading to like they don't want a black guy playing James
They don't want
Bond.
this urbanite.
Yeah, something along the lines of like urban or whatever.
You know this.
And he just played it cool. He's just like, all right, whatever.
I
I
think
want to
he's
do a
safer. I
corny
mean,
movie anyway.
Yeah, for real.
Daniel Craig got like really hurt in like the last 2 movies. Like he
How many
like,
has he
really
done?
doesn't-
He's done
He's
4.
done 4 of
Surfed
them.
on a wave,
Yeah.
man.
That's
You know,
how I got hurt.
you
Fell on
gotta
the
you
cord.
gotta be a thug to protect a rainbow bridge. Connecting
true, yeah,
two
in
sectors
Thor,
of the
yeah.
universe. Yeah.
Also, you got to run the Scranton division of Dunder Mifflin.
true.
Yeah, with an iron fist. And
Is,
have all
uh,
the females fawning over you.
Is Idris Elba American or English?
Nah, he's
British.
Yeah.
British.
He's
He
one of
played
those
Luther. That was like one of his big.
that was his breakout, I
crazy. I
think.
It's a
seen
good show.
like the last 20 minutes of an episode, and like they were on the back of a truck.
Yeah, there's only like 2 episodes.
Yeah, the
Or-
BBC
there's like 3 episodes.
Yeah,
or
just like
something.
with Sherlock, they release like 3
know.
episodes every 4
Ooh,
years.
do you think
or
he'll
something.
do a Black Mirror when they do a
That's racist.
next season?
Say that one more time.
Do you think he'll do an episode of Black Mirror?
He'll
next
do a
season?
Dark Mirror.
Nah,
Dark
don't they get like lesser
What's
known
that?
actors? for
Yeah,
that show?
typically.
No, I mean Bryce Dallas Howard did one,
and I think that also wasn't John Hamm in one.
John
from the
Hamm
latest
is in
season?
one. That's a really good episode. They have some
I haven't
celebrities.
finished the latest season, but that show
I
so
also
crazy.
like zooming in on this. Digital was like, "What the hell are y'all talking about?"
What do they have that black guy doing in there? These
I feel your
people.
pain.
These people look like they eat hummus.
What if
Brian
Idris Elba
Granger.
got up? I'm Idris Elba.
All right, guys. Well, again, we've gone over, so we're going to take a break. We'll take a short break this time, and we'll come back for our last segment where we'll let Gerard and Drew do their guest segments, and we'll tell you a little about Logan, too. So we'll be back here in probably 5 minutes. Stay tuned. Hello, everybody. Back from our third and final break. It's May 4th. This is Prime Nation Live. Before we send it over to Gerard's Japanese Corner, real quick, we're going to cover one more nerd culture topic. Logan is getting re-released in theaters.
Oh, wait, let me do a cool thing. Logan is getting re-released in black and white. Oh, that meant to be a smoother transition, but that's you get the gist.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
yeah.
about as much as that deserves because they're not doing it for any real artistic reason.
And
Right,
that
that's-
does make a point that Tanner brought up yesterday, in that they didn't shoot it for black and white. So unless they're going to put it through an extensive
Yeah,
post-production
I-
lighting alteration,
Yeah, like I love a good old black and white movie because they were shot in black and white and they accounted for that in the lighting and the cinematography.
But this takes place 80 years from now, or ever how long.
Yeah.
like 19.
But either way, I
Yeah.
mean, it's not even that. You could do a good sci-fi movie
12
in black
years
and
from
white.
now.
It's just that
2029.
it was shot. I mean, it was released this year and it was shot last year, and it's in color.
But they're calling it Logan Noir, which, I mean, it lends
Are you
itself...
serious?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. It lends itself to, classic westerns and everything. And not only is it going to be released in theaters in black and white, but it's also going to be a special feature of the Blu-ray and DVD release.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah, that
It's
makes
just
a
a
lot
little
more
throwaway,
sense.
but they're like, we're doing another rollout.
But
Noir.
in the picture that
Gerard's reaction right now, that's what my reaction is, with more like vomiting.
It's just like, yo, why you just let it be a special
I'll
feature?
tell you
Yeah.
exactly why. Money.
No,
That's all it's about.
You're correct.
True.
Yeah. But I mean, in
Does
the
this
picture,
make it a film?
in the picture that Tanner put up, that demonstrates exactly it, because the picture, in color was lots more crisp. You got everything out of it that they meant for you to get out of it. Whenever you just throw a black and white filter on it, it loses a lot of that luster.
I really enjoyed the actual
Every-
color palette. Of
Oh,
that.
I did
Exactly,
too. I
yeah.
liked the
It was-
color palette.
it was
of it.
very colorful.
Every college girl right now just got pissed.
Yeah,
she
'cause,
said, when you turn into black.
You put a filter on it, yeah. But it's true, because, I mean, when it is a different artistic decision to shoot in black and
Jesus,
white, because
yeah.
like Tanner said, it's all about contrast with black
Yeah.
and white. That's
Look-
where you get the
look at
emotional
Sin
impact
City.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like where they actually went out of the way, and
Or-
the whole thing was in black and white, and then they had
Certain colors, they...
what was the dude's name?
Yellow Bastard.
Yellow Bastard. He
Yes,
was yellow,
yes.
and the contrast
Hey,
was
even
amazing.
like
Yeah.
the blood or whatever
Exactly,
from
yeah.
him. Or,
Elijah Wood's character, how he was just like, you see the eyes. That was amazing.
Or
Well
like,
done movie.
man.
wasn't it the? Didn't he have like a red sweater or something like that? Or am I just thinking a little
I think
too much?
so. I don't know.
Are you thinking of the second movie? Maybe I haven't seen the second
I
one.
haven't seen the second one. The first
Okay.
one was pretty cool.
All I know is Elijah Wood's eyes, and then Yellow Bastard is like disgusting.
Yeah.
yeah, he wanted to get that like he is a gross.
He did have
looking-
like a red...
Yes,
he
yeah,
had a red
yeah, that's
marking
that
on
right
there,
there. Yeah.
And the cool
Or-
thing about that was you actually look at that, he's blue. Like the actual guy is blue, and the way that the with them screwing with the color palette, the way that they did it with everything being black and white, it turned him yellow. So there was a lot of work that went into that. Like they put a
Huh.
lot of forward thought into
Yeah.
it, and this is just like,
Or,
oh, it's kind of gritty. Let's do it in black and white.
Or like the certain scenes from Kill Bill that they did in black and
Yeah.
white. That were pretty well done.
And hell, if you're doing old westerns, yeah, there's a lot of great ones in black and white. There's also ones in color.
Yeah,
It's
look
not-
at all the Clint Eastwood ones.
Yeah, and even John Wayne ones. I mean, it's not John Wayne. Yeah, those westerns got started in black and white, but you look at like The Searchers. That was in color.
Mm-hmm.
Like
And
it's just a weird. That's my whole thing.
Does anyone know what the Western that they actually watched in Logan was? The John Wayne movie?
I forget.
No.
And she quotes it there at the end. You know, she says, "Run home and tell your mom there's no more guns in the valley." God, it's so good, man. I don't care what they do because Logan has a free pass to do anything they want, in my opinion.
I found the little girl annoying.
What?
I liked her a lot.
I don't.
Her fighting noises.
Still haven't seen.
I don't think that they gave her enough talking time. Like it was poignant whenever she, and I still didn't say it right.
You're making it worse. You're slurring the word more.
It was poignant whenever she was silent, but then whenever she decided to start talking, I feel like they kind of they didn't give her enough to say, and I mean, I love the movie. In my opinion, it's a near perfect movie. But I think that the finale, I mean, not only the fight scene, the whole climax was more or less predictable.
It was drawn out too.
I agree with the drawn out.
Yeah,
it felt. And you know what? I don't like this movie nearly as much as Sydney, but I really liked her in it. I liked all the actors, every single one of them.
I leaned over to who I went to the movie with, and I said, if one more kid turns around and falls down while they're running, I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
Because it happened 5 times.
Also, I was hoping, my girlfriend and I were joking about this the whole movie because you had like the overweight black kid who seemed like he was good for nothing.
Oh God, he could run so fast.
Well, no, he had like the electricity thing. Like he ended up shocking him, which was cool. But I was hoping they would have him be like a end all be all power. You know, like he is the one who saves them all. And I mean, he did save them, but it was a run of the mill type of power.
Spoiler.
Going back to the little girl being silent. It made no sense for me for her to be silent the entire time, except when she's fighting, and then it's like the annoying noise. That might also be because I don't like kids.
Well, and it was like they were trying to make a point that she was, a feral, like wild kid. But
and then as it goes on, it's like, oh no, you're well rounded as a person, especially for having been in a lab for years.
But
I mean, because I want to get to Gerard's segment, I think we all do. But I just kind of want
time, dog.
Okay, well, no, I just wanted to go back to like the whole black and white thing. Sydney.
Whoa, all right.
It doesn't matter if you're black or white.
Gerard doesn't do that segment anymore.
Not only with the Tupac impressions, also Michael Jackson. Yeah.
Sydney, will you be seeing this in black and white in the theater?
No.
Okay.
I might.
This is good for me. I don't see color.
I might see it only because the version that I watched, I'll admit it, I'm not proud of it, but I wanted to see it, and it was no longer in theaters, so it was a ripped version online. The audio wasn't great.
You watched Cam?
No, it wasn't a cam. It was just like, it was a Japanese version. There were Japanese subtitles, and the background noise was way louder than the dialogue.
And you still thought that was like an amazing movie.
Yeah,
Impressive.
yeah.
I saw it in theaters, and I was still like, I mean, it's
okay.
Me too, it's an okay movie.
Dude,
I saw it
everything.
in theaters and I was like, this is pretty good.
The arc that they set up, like I said, the ending, I think, like the middle part should have been the emotional response the climax gave you, where they're with the family,
Yeah, there were enough deaths. I enjoyed the way the deaths were done. That was emotionally, the deaths that happened, I don't want to give any spoilers, but like tugged at me a little bit. Didn't get me to cry. It wasn't well enough done with that.
Me neither. A lot of people who said they cried during this movie, I did not. I did not.
Yeah. I didn't say who died.
I didn't cry either.
A ton of people died.
I was surprised I didn't cry because lately I've been a blubbery little baby at movies like that. But my girlfriend was bawling her eyes out, and she's not even a huge X-Men fan.
The thing that got me more than anything was when Charles Xavier was like going as an old man, like when he had to put him on the medication. He was going at that. That got me more than anything.
Yeah, when he's having that freak out at the beginning, like not even when he has.
Then he starts saying the Taco Bell thing, and I lost it.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's so good.
Gerard, have you seen this?
Spoiler.
I guess not. Yikes! All right.
You need to get a rip version.
Yeah.
I mean, now that's on my long list of things to watch and listen. But
I have a book now, or like a comic book, where if I want to cry, I just read it. It's it's Love Is Love, which was it's an anthology after the Pulse nightclub shooting last year. They did, and all the money made from it goes to benefit like.
Okay, that was going to be my follow-up question. Yeah, if they're just profiting on this.
No, but it's a partnership between DC and IDW. So DC characters show up in some of these creator stories, and they get like the top talent to do these stories. And there's some in there that have just turned me into an emotional wreck.
So, question: you guys know there was a Boston bombing movie recently, right?
Yes, Patriots Day.
Did Mark Wahlberg get paid money to do that?
I'm sure.
Because if he did, what an a-hole.
Yeah.
Also,
like anyone that's profiting off that, if they're not donating 100% of the profits to something, that is terrible.
I think it's worse because his character's made up. It discredits the people
No, it's based on an actual guy who's black. It's based on a black cop.
Oh
Wow.
We had two different reactions though. Like we had a different reaction to this than we did to the Idris Elba thing.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that was about the Boston bombing.
Oh yeah.
And the thing is, the
Yeah.
Idris Elba casting is an entirely fictional character.
Right.
That's what we were
This is
saying.
the literal
That's what
whitewashing of.
Weber was saying. He was right. It's a fictional character. We're talking about the gunslinger.
But the
whereas this is-
gunslinger wasn't he portrayed as a white guy on the cover of the book?
Yeah, but whatever. Honestly, that one.
That's just what I'm saying. Like people, you see that, and then they're just so comfortable. Like this is how I picture this person in my head. I don't want to see it to change. I understand that aspect of it, but you go further than that. Like just get over it. Yeah.
People are upset about the Idris Elba casting, but I don't think the same people were upset about the Scarlett Johansson
Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell. It's very different sides getting upset about different
Yeah.
things.
And it did way better in Asian countries.
Well,
They-
also
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
it would have. I mean, I don't want to spoil it because I mean it's a new movie, but no one likes it.
You've already said this.
Okay,
Where she her conscience is that of an Asian woman.
that made it way worse. Everyone who's like
That was a last minute thing when you
Yeah.
start hearing the
and,
controversy.
and everyone
Oh,
was saying
yeah.
like,
Sounds
you know
like
what? If it's just she's a white person, whatever, we can deal with it. It's that they like, as someone put it, they white bodied her rather than whitewash. Like,
Are
and
we
it's-
white shaming her?
Yes.
So hey, real
Yo,
quick,
they
with
get out of it.
Patriots Day, it doesn't even look like they made a profit. Their production budget was $40 million. Worldwide box office was 44 million. But surely they spent more than 4.3 million on promotion. So it doesn't even look like they made a profit at all.
Good. They shouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I'm with you that if they did, they should have definitely had that go towards the survivors'
Yeah.
families. They should have at least made some
Yeah.
sort of fund.
If you're gonna do that and you're gonna make profit off of a tragedy that was like in the past, give it 30 years.
Yeah,
I'm cool with
yeah.
someone making a profit off it 30 years from now ish, like long enough.
But also, because
even then, a percentage may be going to a fund or something.
I was about to say the movie that I can always turn on that I know will make me cry at least by the end is Fruitvale Station.
Oh,
And that,
What's
yeah.
that based on?
Oh,
the
so
shooter Oscar Grant.
yeah,
Yeah.
they really
Oakland,
in
California.
the Fruitvale Station in California.
it was
the
Ryan
police shot
Coogler's debut.
They shot an
Was-
unarmed black man after arresting him, having on the ground, and like putting him on the ground. And the cop said, "I thought I had my taser, but
He turned them over. All right,
So
this is-
ridiculous.
this is a
Yeah,
little-
yeah, we don't need to get into it.
yeah."
But my
Great
point-
movie though.
Yeah, it's so good. And that's like I said, Ryan Coogler's debut, who's now directing Black Panther, directed Creed.
Okay.
And that was one of Michael B. Jordan's first big roles.
That
He
was
Michael
his-
be acting.
Yeah, that was what catapulted him to like a serious, like, we need to take this actor seriously. He's super talented.
Before that, he was in what's the
Chronicle.
Chronicle,
which
yeah,
is
that's
great,
it.
and he's
Before
great in
that, he
Fantastic
was on
Four.
what's the name?
Oh, yeah,
Why am I
he
blanking
was
on
in
this?
Fantastic Four.
TV show The Wire. He
was he
did,
on The Wire?
He did a small role in The
Okay,
Wire.
cool.
Yeah.
But my point in bringing up Fruitvale Station is that some people could see as profiting off of that, but
Mhm.
it sort of brought the issue to light. No one really heard about that like we
Mhm.
did the Boston bombing.
Right.
So I think that
And
movie...
that's not blind patriotism. Blind
Yeah.
patriotism scares me.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
agreed.
yeah.
And those Mark Wahlberg movies they're doing especially. That's something where it's like, man,
Is there another one?
Well,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
but
Well-
Mark Wahlberg seems to just be. He did that movie Lone Survivor, which was good.
Lone Survivor, Patriots Day, and the one about the oil rig, which I forget what it's called.
What's Lone Survivor based on?
It's this true story about how like the squad in I think it was Afghanistan. They were like super surrounded by just hordes of Taliban, and one guy made it out. And now that movie was at least it actually kind of pointed out that the reason Mark Wahlberg's character, the lone survivor, survived was because of a village that hated the Taliban, like a Muslim village that sheltered him. And that was actually I thought really cool.
And as far as I know, I never saw the movie, but if I'm remembering correctly, it also shows that like he did have to like leave his fallen soldiers behind, as opposed to most war movies they make a big deal out of you carry the bodies and everything like that. But I think I remember a scene where like he's trying to rappel down a mountain with someone and he can't do it, so he has to leave him or something like that. Again, I could be wrong, but also Deepwater Horizon was another Mark Wahlberg movie that's just pretty much sold on blind patriotism, where they know it's some sort of natural disaster, or not even a natural disaster here, is entirely man-made, but they know that they're going to get people flocking to the theaters.
Is that the one based on the oil pipeline burst?
Yeah.
Okay. That one's a little less blind patriotism to me. Like the other one's just like, there's another one that's like so-and-so's long walk to halftime freedom or
Billy
whatever.
Flynn.
Yeah. And that was another one where it almost seems like, oh, soldiers have PTSD. If you come to this movie, it'll help soldiers. No, it won't. You're gonna be giving money to an actual charity that helps out soldiers. Don't go to see these terrible movies.
Yeah.
That are, I mean, it might elicit an emotional response, but that doesn't mean it's a a worthwhile venture.
Oh, and it was Billy Lynn. And that was directed by Ang Lee, who also directed Hulk. Yeah, the 2003
A lot of Marvel tie-ins
Hulk,
here.
Yeah. Which, you know.
Hey, Ang Lee also directed good movies. He directed Lion last year. He directed that Life of Pi.
Oh, yeah, Life of Pi was Ang Lee.
Ang Lee, like...
He sounds like you're saying angry.
As if a Cameron was here saying
Yeah.
angry.
Yeah.
But like Tanner pointed out earlier, we do want to have time for Gerard's Japanese corner, so let's go ahead and send
Yo,
it over there.
J-Rod,
Oh,
what's
y'all.
happening?
Y'all remembered all this
But
Patriot
wait,
talk.
1 second, I'm sorry. Ang Lee also directed Brokeback Mountain. Did not know
Wow.
that.
Wait, did he also direct Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon?
I just
okay,
saw
yes,
that.
that's the
racist.
one.
He's let me see. Let me not get this wrong. He's Taiwanese.
He's
So-
Asian.
Yeah, so not racist.
No, he's talented.
Speaking of Asian, Gerard, you're into that.
I need you to be more specific, sir.
You like anime?
and anime, but
Eminem
also
is the rapper.
also like
oh,
Japanese entertainment. culture.
Gerard,
What's up, fam?
from the we talked earlier this week about the penguin in the Japanese zoo that adopted a waifu. Did
Yeah.
you see that?
No,
Well, we'll have to talk about it later. But a penguin.
let's go ahead and get it out the way right now.
Okay, penguin. They put anime in the zoo to like help promote it. They put these cute little anime girls like cardboard stands in
Like,
the exhibits.
the
and this
zoo was
penguin-
losing
Yeah.
zoo was losing
And,
visitors, so
yeah,
they tried to
the-
tie in a demographic.
The
by-
characters are like zoo animals that were like transformed by magic into being cute anime girls.
So like a Judy Hopps, but a penguin.
Kinda, but she's made into a human. She's
Yeah,
not
she's
just
human.
an anthropomorphized penguin. She's an actual human. I'll show it to you.
Yeah, I've got it up right
okay,
now.
Perfect.
Uh,
She's pretty cute.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
and there's this,
Okay.
this penguin that just fell in love with her.
Wow.
Yeah, he's like he just stays down at the bottom of that pedestal all day. He won't even eat or anything like
Yeah.
that. They have to lock him up so that he'll eat. Yeah.
wow, that's crazy.
But anyway, for real, Gerard's Japanese corner.
these dudes went to a tangent
Well, no,
talking
'cause I
about
want-
Ang Lee.
I
Where
want
did that
you-
even start with that? It went
Billy
from,
Lynn's long halftime walk.
went
Yeah.
from the long halftime walk to Ang
Hulk.
Lee's Hulk
Yeah.
to Ang Lee's
Brokeback Mountain.
yeah,
Gerard,
the list of
I want you to watch
movies
this.
he's directed.
I want you to watch this anime that this exhibit came from and report on it. Like
Oh.
that's what I really want.
I'm good, man. Now I see this is forced content now. Are we getting paid by the Japanese zoo? Is that what's happening now?
No, but
Are there checks coming in that I'm not hearing about?
Is that all?
we
Is that
didn't mean
everything
to.
you?
We didn't mean to tread on your artistic freedom, Gerard. I'm sorry.
I don't know how I
I
feel
made
about
this
show
for you.
anymore. I don't know how I feel about this anymore.
just
All right. Just hopping right into it.
Judy
Uh,
Hopps. Are we doing that thing again?
No. We're not going down that road right now. No. It's way
That
more
rabbit
intimate.
hole.
Yes. not that hole. Maybe another hole.
Wait, can we get the
right,
can we
right
get the-
next to it.
Can we
right
get the
next to
laser
it.
sound? Can we please
Yeah.
get the sound effects?
You talking about the
Yes,
air horn?
going down a rabbit hole.
Man. Okay, so getting right into it. Today I was going to talk about the anime Bleach. Not Clorox Bleach, but the anime based off the manga Bleach, which it's been out like 10 plus years, like almost 15 years.
I
it was
remember
out.
seeing it in high school.
Yeah, and like the anime aired in like 2004. I didn't realize that, so I was looking up these stats for it. But pretty much, it's a story of 15-year-old Ichigo Kurosaki, who since he was a kid, he was able to see spirits, ghosts essentially. And as he grew older, he just kind of assists them, whatnot. Like in the first episode, these guys that were hanging out on his by this light post, they ended up knocking over this girl's. It was like a memorial to where she died at. It was just like a flower in a jar. And he kind of like just gets on them and just like, you need to watch where you're going, like beats them up or whatnot, and he fixes it. Is in communications with them and things like that, because they're still like in the living world. They haven't crossed over yet. Then like one day he runs into this woman named Rukia.
So just real quick, as it goes, who have like unfinished business?
It's just kind of like you're just kind of like in limbo, but like in the living world, or it's just like you kind of holding on.
In
a way.
they haven't. Yeah, they have something they need to let go of.
Okay.
Yeah. So essentially, yeah. But it's he runs into this woman named Rukia, who is a soul reaper, which is pretty much like a grim reaper. So they assist the ones that are still in the living world, help them cross over to the soul society, is where like all the spirits reside at. And then you have the evil spirits, which are called hollows, which are like corrupted spirits that look like monsters or whatnot. They like exorcise them, which essentially just kill them with the swords they have, which they call them zanpak. So it's not really get too much into that, not really like give too much away, but like that's kind of like the where the action resides at with the swordplay and like the powers and whatnot. But what ends up happening like in this very day when he runs into Rukia, a hollow ends up attacking Ichigo's house and like his family. Rukia tries to fend it off while still trying to protect Ichigo at the same time. She gets hurt, which then is a way she transfers her powers to Ichigo and thus making him a Soul Reaper. And that's pretty much what the story takes off from there.
So where does Bleach come in? Is that just like a translation?
I couldn't tell you where he came up with his name for it, but
it's Japanese people. They like English words.
We
They
just
sound cool.
I remember in like 04, 05 when a guy who I had classes with, he was in a grade above me. We got to talking about anime, and he told me about Bleach all those years ago. He just kept telling me like it was this guy. He has like this huge sword. He fights these monsters and whatnot. I had no idea what he was talking about until about like 3 or 4 years later, and then it came out. But it was when it was at its peak, it was a part of like the big three, like the trio, which was Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach. Those were like the main popular ones that were like ongoing.
Like anime, not just manga.
Yeah, anime and manga. Okay. Because the manga is ahead as far as like in story or whatnot. But the downside that I have for Bleach is that it's too many fillers. And the problem with fillers, the Bleach fillers, is that they go on for too long and like they just kind of, it's like, oh, this is interesting, and then like halfway through, I'm like, I'm
fillers as in nothing related to Ghost.
Yeah,
or
so
swords.
it's like, okay, so you got the main story going on, and then it'll take a break so that the manga is far ahead, so it can stay up in sales. It's far ahead of the anime, and then it'll get back to it like later on. But like the filler episodes were like the filler arcs were actually like whole seasons, so they were almost like 20+ episodes. So I would say out of the 300+ episodes Bleach has aired for, 60 to 80, maybe even 100 of them are fillers.
Whoa.
And there's maybe one filler arc that was actually decent, and that was it. That's a big problem with some of the animes that come out now when they have the fillers that it's just they're just not good.
Is any of the filler in the manga?
No.
Okay, yeah.
The fillers is made for the anime so it can go ahead.
Gotcha.
So the manga could stay ahead.
Yeah,
that's why it takes 4 episodes in Dragon Ball Z for Goku to get anything done.
Yeah,
and that's
to get charged up. Yeah.
But the thing with shows like Dragon Ball Z and also with One Piece, what I like about their fillers, it was only 2 to 3 or like 4 episodes, and each episode there was something different going on.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's why you have that one episode where Goku and Piccolo go get the driver's license.
Oh yeah.
And then like the next episode, it was something completely different.
Wait, with Piccolo?
Yeah, Piccolo.
Yeah, I remember
Piccolo
that.
had a hat to hide his antennas and all of that stuff. Yeah. Yep.
Wow,
Yeah.
nice.
I do remember that.
Here.
Yeah. It was dope. Yeah, it was just like something to do. He was like, "Come on, Piccolo, you ain't doing nothing. Like, come get your driver's license." Yeah.
Like, those are filler episodes I like, just goofing around.
That's
and
what I'm saying.
fun.
Like One Piece, what they do, it could be like, I think at the most maybe like 8. And it's just a quick story to where it's like One Piece, they're just traveling around the ocean. It's just island to island. So it's like, oh, we were on this island for a day, and it covers 8 episodes, and then we get right back into it. So it's quick, and it just snaps off. Bleach, it just didn't go that far.
Now that you bring up One Piece, that sends us to your next topic, right?
Super excited. My brother, which I mentioned before, he was in Japan for like a week with my aunt. I couldn't go because I'm mad broke. So he sent a link to me. He was like, so for when you go to Japan, it's something that you probably going to want to do. They made an actual ship, the ship from One Piece that they're on right now, the new pirate ship that Captain Luffy is on. They made one that's actually you can take a ride on in Japan. Like realistic, you can get on it, and it's actually pretty well done. I watched a video that somebody did when they were actually on the ship, and I was very excited about it, and I really...
You think about moving to Japan?
Yes and no. Just because like I'm cool with just chilling here and visiting that place as far as like an escape.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the social like currency you'd possess as a Black American in Japan?
But see, I also know that Asian people like to keep to Asian people, so it's like I don't even want to integrate with that. Yeah, as far as like it's just
that's a stereotype.
It's just really
maybe when it comes to like full-fledged relationships, but you got to think there's plenty of Asian women.
How tall are you?
Going to be all over that.
I am 5'9".
That's big over there.
Really?
I would say that's a stereotype.
I don't know. It's for me. I think more or less it's a fantasy. It's somewhere I would like to escape to from time to time again. So I wouldn't want to actually just live there all the time.
Can we get sponsored by Japan so we can send Gerard to Japan?
Yeah.
Prime Minister, is it Shizo? Is that his name?
I don't know.
You
I just follow
quit being
entertainment,
racist.
man.
Quit making
Hey,
up Asian
yeah.
names.
I just looked it up. Yeah, I mean, I guess this isn't necessarily a stereotype. The average height for males in Japan is 5'7.5" For females, 5'2".
Is it a stereotype if I just guessed?
Some
But that boat ride is actually it's like $10 US.
$10 too.
It actually moves?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it actually moves. Like it's functional. Like
I thought it was stationary. Like
no.
Battleship.
If you look at the picture from the anime, and you look at the one in real life, you see like they actually made it so where it floats and it can actually move.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it's
Oh, it's like a steamboat. Or
Oh
not a
yeah,
steamboat.
here it is.
Yeah.
Away from the dock.
no. That's the older model.
Ah.
That's the older one from before the time. See, now I'm getting into One Piece.
Oh,
So
okay, yeah.
That's
Somebody
not the
almost
correct
say that.
model.
That's the older one. See that head? That one's called the Mary, and the newer one. That's not a ship.
I know. Yeah,
you-
yeah. I'm
dude,
just
you
looking
kill
at
it
the
in
other
Japan.
visions.
It's just that one is called the Thousand Sunny.
Okay.
So that's the latest one that they're on right now, and it's a cool ship.
Let me know when you go visit.
Yes, I'm gonna just geek out the whole time.
I want to go to a wrestling show over there.
Man,
Ooh,
that'd be so much
yeah.
fun.
Oh, yeah.
They have a restaurant dedicated to Kamen Rider.
See, I want to go to the no. See, I wanted to go to the restaurant they I think they took it down. I wanted to go to the restaurant they dedicated to Kirby.
Mm.
They did a whole restaurant.
Do you just
on,
have to press B and suck in?
Yeah,
until
you
get
just-
as full as
exactly.
you want?
Inhale all your
That's where
food.
I want to
Wow.
go, man.
But wait, so for the Kamen Rider one, do they serve you in character as Kamen Rider?
Probably.
Like all
I
the
don't-
iterations of them?
Like the pictures I seen like on the subreddit, it was just they have just all the memorabilia,
Okay, yeah.
the action figures and
Vivens.
whatnot. So it's dope. Like I said, like I did the conversion rate. It's like $10 for an adult and like $4 or $5 for a kid to ride. So
Oh, on the boat.
yes, on the
Okay,
boat,
yeah.
yeah. So
Kamen Rider the Diner.
yes.
That's just lazy.
There's apparently a local.
You know that's how popular it is. Like you don't have to do that much to just try to sell it. Like, see, look, this
Oh,
don't even know what that
whoa,
is.
So that's a dish made to look like a
Oh,
Kamen
like
Rider.
the
Okay.
mask. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool looking.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
There's apparently a local restaurant that just opened up called Nothing Bunt Cakes. We're going with Kamen Rider the Diner.
Yeah, yeah. Man, I don't mean this. This is just purely my ignorance.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Yeah, I'll admit this. I did not think that Asian countries ate potatoes.
They're actually, I think Japan's going through a
Wait.
potato shortage right now.
Sydney, keep
Huh.
that image up. I like Idris Elba's looking at that like, oh, that looks good.
Is that a flower?
Make that into a dark.
You can't
brown.
eat a flower.
All right, guys. Well, with that, it is time to bring the show to
Along
a
with
close.
Benedict Cumberbatch's half face, that Idris
please,
Elba
yeah.
screenshot is going to be a go-to now for me.
That wouldn't work.
Yeah,
Because you'd put it on the right half, and
No,
then it would
no,
just be his
I'm-
ear.
skull. Yeah.
No, I'm saying that I'm going to save this image of Idris Elba and just pull
Oh,
it
I
up
gotcha.
every
Okay.
now and then for good situations.
like that.
See,
I like
yeah, I
that.
like that too. Good deal. All right, well, guys, this has been a fun show. Again, it is May 4th. This is Prime Nation Live, and I'm Sydney Roberts. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at SydneyRoberts18.
I'm Tyler Wood. You can find me on Twitter at Tyler W. Wood and on Instagram at Styler Wood. And you can find Prime Nation across all platforms, whether that be iTunes, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Libsyn, SoundCloud, Walmart, Bojangles,
BlackPeopleMeet.com.
BlackPeopleMeet.com.
Okay, Cupid.
Farmers only.
Swipe right on Tinder for the rhinos.
J-Date.
And we are on there at Prime Nation Live.
We're everywhere.
I'm Gerard Fortune. You can catch me on Instagram and Twitter at AROD, EY_ROD.
Sure.
I'm Tanner Methvin. You can find me on Twitter at Tanner Methvin and on YouTube, the channel Sinister Waffles.
Perfect, guys. That was our show. We'll be back again tomorrow, Friday the 5th, Cinco de Mayo, at 10 a.m. live. So check us there and enjoy us on iTunes in the meantime.
Spirit gun.